Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coffee Klatsch. This is the place where we keep you company while you are taking care of various chores, while you are vacuuming, watching your children, things of that nature. We endeavor to be an atmospheric vlog. We endeavor to be your background sound. If you are new here, my name is Dani, and I am usually here with my daughter. We pretty much are just a rambling show where we catch up with each other as to what we've done over the week, and we invite you along to listen. While you do other things to keep you company. Now, my daughter doesn't appear to be here yet, so usually in these cases, I start up a crossword for us to enjoy until she shows up. So it'll take me just a moment to do that. I normally do Planet Crossword, which they have pretty good crosswords up there. Um, I have the feeling it is a somewhat semi abandoned site because I haven't seen any updates to it recently, and there are some things that don't quite work. But there are still working puzzles up there now. So as long as they've got working puzzles up there now, we'll keep taking a look at them.
I could add myself to the stage now.
What we've got here,
Hello?
I am picking.
Hello?
It doesn't look like anything's been updated since. Uh, yeah, there might be some December stuff in there. Oh,
Mama,
December. I haven't seen any December. Okay, let's
Mama, can
try
you see
that.
me? I don't know how any of this works.
Let's try this one. So we're sticking with this website because it works really well for us. We're sticking with this website until we use up all the puzzles that are available.
Hello?
And I'll put the code in. You're supposed to be able to use the chat. I haven't been able to get that to work. So I'll put the code in the chat room and you can go to the website yourself if you would like to. There's my daughter.
I've been here this whole time. I can present myself now. I can add myself.
Wait a minute. I can't hear you. Wait a minute.
Yep,
Wait a minute.
I figured.
It's not your
I speed
fault. I
running.
don't think I have my volume up.
Yeah, Ronald, I am in my fantasy cottage today.
Okay, say words.
Words.
Okay, good. Good, 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 good.
Also,
So I
you didn't tell me that we are doing our hair today. You could have warned me that we're trying to look cute today.
okay, we'll get to that in a second. Right now, I'm trying to do my due diligence and bring up the crossword for you guys because I have got to get coffee.
Okay. Well, you do
So,
that.
so I'm bringing up the crossword, and then you will keep people company while I get coffee. I see that apparently you got my invitation to be a part of the team, and so you just logged yourself in, huh?
I did, and now I just want to. I don't. I There's too many things on the screen now. I hate it.
You want to go back to just being a guest? Is that what you're saying?
Bruh, for real. There's like the banner buttons and the side brand. What is that? What's this button do? Oh, okay. Okay. We've got video clips. We've got backgrounds. We can have background music. We could have had background music this entire time.
What are you talking about?
Ooh, what if I just add some lo-fi background music? This is gonna be the time until she gets her coffee, until we say welcome to Coffee Klatsch. This is time for us to play around. So
Well, I've already said welcome to the Coffee Klatsch. I started without you, ma'am.
You said the official welcome. Now I can't play around.
Yes, you can play around while I go get coffee.
Ronald, go ahead and just knock out this crossword puzzle while I am messing with stuff. What's lo-fi? What happens if I put some lo-fi in? This is not the kind of lo-fi I listen to. Ooh, Ronald, are you hearing this lo-fi? I usually listen to like lo-fi Afro beats. This is not lo-fi I listen to. What other options we got? Night driving? Oh, clashing with the Hovercats music. Okay, let me turn off. Oh, see, I can't hear the Hovercats music. Ooh, but what I can do, since I have control now, I can mute the Hovercats music. Oh, well, I guess Hovercats music coming from you playing the game as opposed to coming from our stream. Ooh. Well, I'll wait till we finish, and then I think I like the night driving better than the lo-fi. The night driving, I think, is what I pictured. Ooh, but I also want to know what Into Space is. I'm sorry, I'm going to continue. What is this? Can't figure out how to turn off. Oh, muted the whole tab. Okay. Okay, Into Space is kind of chill. There's also some other options. Acoustic cinematic. Are we having a cinematic morning? What is that? This is boring. Not that background music needs to be interesting, but this is more boring than the word cinematic offers. What is feeding the ducks? Oh yeah, no problem. Sorry about the faux pas of not knowing who your husband is. No problem. Yeah. It was fun. I enjoyed listening to the game. We were kind of listening back and forth because we were also in the middle of playing a game while watching your stream. So we were kind of listening back and forth a bit, but we definitely wanted to add some viewer count. And it looked like a fun game. It was a very pretty game. I like the look of it, but that is a lot of pieces. More of a matter of mystery. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, that's why, because my mom is like, no, that's Jesse. That's not Ronald's husband. I'm like, to be fair, I don't know Ronald's husband's name. I have never seen Ronald's husband. How would I know? I'm kind of digging this background music. Which one is this? This one is Feeding the Ducks. I feel like our streams have a different kind of vibe though. Now that I know that we can have background music, and Mother, can you say something so I can see if I can hear you over this background music? Because I might need to turn it down for me.
Feeding the ducks sounds nice to me.
Okay. I don't know. I just feel like our stream has a different kind of vibe. But I will leave Feeding the Ducks on, and we can leave it on a loop, and it'll just be a nice little background thing. Does that sound, can you hear me over the music? And then Ronald, can you also hear me and her?
Oh, I can hear you fine over the music.
Okay.
I can hear you fine over the music. I hope it's still going to sound that way on demand. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I hear you absolutely fine.
Okay. All right. So, since this is the Coffee Klatsch, let's start with what we are eating and drinking. I am having, as usual, in my usual travel mug that I got for Christmas several years ago, or maybe it was Mother's Day. I can't remember. Anyway, instant coffee, French vanilla creamer.
I have some Simply Lemonade. Oh, that is totally phasing through my cottage core background. I have Simply Lemonade, and I'm waiting for my room service to arrive. Room service is scheduled to arrive at 11 today.
I am minimizing the crossword, but you are welcome to continue to work on the crossword as we talk. I might jump in and throw a word there. I'm also having a Power Crunch bar so that I don't have a tummy ache. So I hope it's good because the men folk in the house don't like it. It's strawberry cream, and normally I don't go for a lot of fake strawberry stuff, so I might not like it either. But
I love fake strawberry.
If you see me minimize or take myself off the screen, it's because I don't want to be crunching in your ear. So, first up is our life updates. So,
I still got to turn this down just a little bit more. It might just be the headphones I'm wearing. Maybe if I switch headphones.
I like it right where you have it right now.
Okay.
I think it's good because it's a little bit of a vibe, but not overwhelming.
Okay, then we'll keep it here, and I'll try to remember that for next time.
Okay, do you want to start first, or you want me to start first? I don't have a lot of stuff to talk about, so I can start first if you want, and then you can talk while I eat my food.
I also don't have much to talk about, but my stuff is just going to be like annoying people at work stuff. So you go ahead and, because I forgot to even put it in the little thing. So you go ahead and start.
Hey, my mouth still hurts. But I have
you went to the dentist?
No, I have a dentist appointment next week. Oh. Remember, I went to the dentist before, and they did the fillings. Mm-hmm. And then it was like immediately after they did the fillings, they weren't going to do this. I went to do the crown, but then I got in there and they said that this top part was worse. I don't know why we planned to do this first. Probably because the bottom part was giving me pain when I originally went to see them. Mm-hmm. So the plan was to do a crown on this next time I went in. But then when I went in, it was like, oh no, these top ones have gotten worse. Let's do these first. So we did the top ones and did fillings. And the whole time she was digging was like, oh my gosh, we're having to dig so deep. These cavities are bad, whatever. But immediately, and I said, are you sure I'm going to be able to eat when I go home? Do I need to eat soup or something? And they said, oh, you'll be able to eat. Fine. And I was fine that day. And then every day after that, my mouth is hurt.
Oh.
But I knew that I have an appointment right at the beginning of February. So I was like, well, it's not too bad if I chew over on this side. Because, I went years chewing on one side of my mouth because I wouldn't go to the dentist because we didn't have dental insurance. So I can chew on the other side of my mouth. That's fine. But it's gotten to the point now where I'm glad that I have a dentist appointment. My appointment is next week because my mouth is really starting to hurt. And how did you end up over on my left side?
Yeah, maybe because I have the ability to control things now. It put me as like the primary since you left.
Very weird. But so anyway, it's been getting worse and worse. I'm living on Tylenol right now. Mm-hmm. So I took some Tylenol.
You said the appointment's on the 1st?
No, the appointment is next week. I think it's 5th or something. It's sometime next week, I think. Yeah. So I can hold out another week. Mm-hmm. I know I said it for early in. It's before the 15th. That's all I remember. I got to dig in my purse and find my appointment card. It's before the 15th though, so I know that I can hold out. But I'm living on Tylenol. But I took Tylenol right before.
Tooth pain is like the worst.
Yes, because it's making my ear hurt. It's making my throat
like a headache.
I feel like it's going down in my shoulder. It's just like, ugh. all that referred pain. So I'm trying to.
That's amazing.
That's funny. One of the crossword clues for those who watch this on demand, one of the crossword clues is ashy. You can put stuff up there. You just have all the controls now.
I can do everything now. You gave me abilities.
I'm so glad I added you. So now I don't have to send you the link anymore, right? You can just come and jump in.
Yeah, now I think as long as you schedule it, because I still don't know how to do that, but as long as you schedule it, then I can just hop in, because that's what I did. Because I originally took the link and then I was like, oh, well, it didn't keep me logged in. So I backed out and logged in, and then it just shows like, oh, this is the one that's live right now. And so I can just hop in.
Cool. Cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So everything else is going to go into crafty stuff other than you commented on my hair. My hair is not done. Okay.
It looks done. It looks good.
I set my hair. Thank you. I set my hair. And let me show you my roller bouquet.
Oh, they're so cute though. I like the polka dots.
Because I had my hair rolled up yesterday, and I left my hair in rollers all day yesterday because all the videos I had watched with the natural hair girlies were like, oh, I meant to take this out after a couple hours, but my hair is still wet. The people who are air drying their hair, because I don't have a blow dryer or a hair dryer at all. So I have to air dry. And the people like, oh, I woke up the next morning, my hair's still wet, blah, blah, blah. So, and I thought my hair was going to be like that too, but apparently I am remembering the hair I had in my 30s. I am now approaching 60, and my hair is not as thick as it is in my imagination, because my hair dried up really quick.
My hair is also not that thick. We have had conversations, because you all the time are like, oh, your afro and stuff. But remember when we were sitting in the airport and Chloe was helping me do the twist down of my hair is not that thick, because once it's all twisted down, there's a lot of space in my fro. I think is the thing. Because remember when we twisted it down, it was so thin. It was like all the strands that's why I don't do twist outs, because the other girlies do twist outs and they've got these nice juicy twists that look all cute and whatever.
Yeah.
When I do twist outs, it looks stringy.
Exactly. When I do 2-strand twists and try to wear my hair that way, it looks very stringy. So my hair is not as thick as it was when I was in my 20s and 30s.
And my hair is not as thick as people think it is.
My hair used to be really thick, and it used to take a long time to dry. But anyway, I left my hair in the curlers yesterday, and I could have came on here today with my hair in the curlers, because I thought it looked cute with the little polka dots all over my head.
Ooh, not you with your 1950s girly era.
It was adorable. But yeah, the curlers come in this little thing. But you see, I can't get them all the way back in there because they're like vacuum sealed into the container. They fold them up and vacuum seal them, so you got like 3 rows of them. This is 30 curlers.
I thought about getting some of those curlers to do my hair as well. Did you have a hard time like getting them to stay in place, or like did you put any mousse or? Oh no, you did do mousse, right?
I used mousse. Because I'm going to embiggen myself for a second.
Sure.
I don't know if you can see. There's a little bit of a shine to it. I used mousse. I washed my hair, put my leave-in conditioner in. I used mousse, and then I just rolled it up like I remember doing rollers when, the pink rollers with the little plastic thing. And you have to click on. Yeah, I grew up with those. So by the way, it's funny watching these girlies not know how to use pink rollers. This one girl thought she was breaking them when she was trying to put.
She clicked it closed. That's funny.
I see things like that. It's like I can't imagine that you don't know, but if you're young, you don't know. But anyway, all this is to say, my hair is not fully done yet because I took the rollers out, and it almost made it kind of straight and made it smooth. So I'm happy with that. But it's not as full as I would like it to be, because I like me, when my hair was relaxed, I would just take the rollers out and I would just do a little bit of this and then it's done. But with this, you have to really like take your hair and separate it to really get the curl.
See, that is nope.
And
That's taking all of my energy out of that.
I started doing that this morning, and I did a little bit of it because it was flatter than this on the top. It was like all the way down on the top. So I did a little bit of that this morning on the front, separating curls. But I haven't done any of this back here yet. A little bit at the neck. But
yeah, it looks, also you and your freaking white girl hairs at the back of your neck, Jean.
I know.
Well, I did my hair the other day, and I just have these long strands hanging out the back because I was trying to just wear my hair in an afro, and I have these long strands just hanging down the back that I can't do anything with. So I would like just tuck them up and hide them in my afro, so they were just hanging down like a friggin' rat tail. It's been driving me crazy.
For those who don't know or can't remember or don't really care, so I'll remind you anyway. My mother is biracial, so my nana was white, so that's the only thing we have from that is that little section of hair back here is like white girl hair. Is the texture
for no reason.
Is the texture of white girl hair. The rest of my hair is like a 4C. Nappy as it gets. But what people call the kitchen, if you ever hear Black people talk about the kitchen, most Black people, the kitchen back here is really tight, nappy, knotty, coarse hair. On us, this is white girl hair. This section right here is about an inch at the nape of my neck all the way across is white girl hair.
It drives me absolutely crazy. While we're in hair talk, I was this close to one, just cutting that hair, just like stretching it and cut it out so it lines up with the rest of my hair. Two, we're still on Mohawk watch. I am so close. I really want to shave my head into a Mohawk again, but I'm trying. I want to grow it out because I want the big fro where it like hangs and it's really cute, and my hair is not quite there yet. So I'm holding off, but so if for some reason I have the money on my birthday, and I can get my hair done, I think what I'm gonna ask him to do is to cornrow the sides up so it's like a Mohawk, and then just do box braids in the middle. That way I can live my Mohawk life for a little while and get it out of my system, maybe. Because it was so easy. It was so easy having shaved sides. It was so easy having a bald head. Because I also thought the other day about just. It was so nice.
I had my hair super short when I was in like 6th or 7th grade. Not my choice. I did not pick up on learning how to do my hair like my sisters did, and so my mother just shaved my hair off, and so I went several years.
Also, thank you for not doing that to me, because if you had done that to me, we would not have this live stream right now.
Even though I let her continue to shave my hair, I was not happy about it, but I didn't know how to do anything to my hair anyway, so I let her continue to shave my hair off well into high school. But no, I would not do that to you, because I remember I was not happy with it.
As an adult, when it's my decision, I really liked it.
Back when I had my hair shaved, we didn't have all these natural hair curl products and things encouraging you how to take care of your natural hair and stuff. So cornrows. Oh Lord.
Donald, if you have pictures, you better put them in the Discord.
Oh my
Oh,
Lord.
you better put them in the Discord. You know, I just realized we can make like a little tag, like a banner for the Discord, and then just pop that up every time we mention the Discord, and then people can go join the Discord. I'll work on that. Now, when you have given me access, and now I just realized the other day, because I think Wayne said something about like Discord or something like that, and people ask me like, oh, how did you know you can do this thing in this program? How did you know your phone can do this thing? When I get a new piece of technology or a new program, I just go messing with stuff. I'm like, what does this button do? What does this button do? What does that button do? What is this? I
Considering
go
that
messing with stuff.
considering you are a tech jinx, this is not a good thing for you because you break stuff. You break stuff. But since we are trying to do good and keep to all our sections, we're in the last 5 minutes of life update. So why don't you start moving into your market update?
Yeah, give me just a sec. I have a friend asking about Faye Nectar, so I'm letting him know that I'm going to be sending him some info later.
You mean Faye Heaven?
You're killing me.
Faye Depot?
Faye Depot? Ooh, I just picture like a Home Depot, and you go through the aisles, and there's like potion bottles on this aisle, and like enchanted doors that take you to a different portal, and this that. Oh, Faye Depot is. I need to use that in a D&D game. Faye Depot is my favorite now. Okay, let me do that. All right, and I think we might have Ari lingering in because I can see now that we've got 2 viewers.
2 people. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ronald doesn't have a picture of the cornrows, boo.
So sad.
So I'm going to start from least interesting things to most interesting things. So last Saturday at Faye Nectar will be probably the last one. I have just been having a week at work. Just like one part of it is because I honestly have not been sleeping properly for like a month and a half. I have been like waking up in the middle of the night or like having trouble getting to sleep, and it's just been stressing me out. I got melatonin, which honestly, at this point just is a delicious little treat for me to have before bed, but it's not actually helping me sleep, it feels like. Because these gummies are good. The gummies are yummy. If they were not in my head medicine, I would just be snacking on them. They are very yummy. But they don't seem to be helping me very much, because the other day I doubled up on melatonin because I was like, I really want to get to bed. Tell me why I took double melatonin and then went to bed at 10 p.m., woke up at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. and could not go to sleep for another like 5 hours. I was just up for 5 hours in the middle of the night for no reason. After doubling up on melatonin, I stopped drinking caffeine by like 6 p.m. Like I don't, and a lot of times it's before that. So I don't understand what is going on with my brain. But anyway, so I've been very like just kind of cranky the last couple months. Ice cream kind of, The ice cream kind of blizzard. What?
Oh, he's talking about the crossword.
The crossword. Okay, I was like, what? Okay.
Blizzard components, Oreos.
Got it. So I've been just generally kind of cranky at work, which like makes interacting with people worse, because I am always on the register, because that's where I prefer to be. I would rather be dealing with people than stocking shelves and things, because that is just a task that irritates me to no end, because it's not like, oh, I have a box of this is the shelf where it goes, and I put it up. At our store, it's like, I have a box of this, I need to figure out where this goes because there's no set place, and then I might have to move things around and rearrange, and then there's not like, okay, we've got all the Snickers and then all the M&Ms and then all of this. It's like, I have a box of Snickers and then maybe a box of headbands and then maybe this and then maybe that. And so I've got to like run all over the place trying to put things away, as opposed to being able to methodically kind of put them away in order, which is irritating to me. So I'd rather just be at the register, running the register, because that's what I'm used to anyway. But with dealing with people, did you also get room service? Anyway, dealing with people, I yesterday overslept, so I was already like running late, and I get into the store And from the moment that I walk into the store, for the first 10 minutes that I'm in the store, there is a child all the way in the back of the store, mind you. I can hear him all the way back in the store screaming his head off. Just
Oh,
like
no.
screaming his head off. And like to the point where, you know, when kids scream and like you can hear that they're like starting to tear up their throat, like screaming his head off because he wanted some toy or something. I don't know, because Party City is like just child heaven because there's toys and costumes and candy and like. Anyway, I don't understand why people.
I haven't been in a Party City. I was gonna say I hadn't been in Party City since the twin 16th birthday, but that's not true because we went on Aunt Connie's 70th or 75th or whatever birthday and got some balloons for her there. But so like those are the only 2 times I remember being in Party City.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to interest children, and honestly a lot of good stuff for me. I've been getting, since I have a discount, I've been getting stuff for my market, so I now have like table decorations and stuff for my market. But so he was screaming the entire time. And I think the thing that irritated me was then the woman came up to the front and checked out and acted like there was not a child next to her that had been screaming this entire time. And he continued to scream, standing in front of the register. And she was like, yeah, can you actually check the price on this for me? Okay, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and get this. All right. And then like so chill as if nothing had happened. And I was like, what in the world? And then as she went to walk out,
that's
like,
one approach, because some people say, you know, do not give the kid the attention because that's what they're trying to do is get your attention.
No, I've watched Nanny 911 and Super Nanny. I know,
but
acknowledge it to me.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it to me.
But I think the problem is that she had given him attention for this in the past
before. Yes, that's what I was saying to my coworkers. So he knows that it's going to work eventually.
So he's escalating because if you've got a kid who's like and you ignore that, then they're not going to try that anymore. But if you do the little bit of and they give in and you give in,
the next time you whimper and you're like, oh, this isn't loud enough, clearly.
And then exactly, and then they're going to escalate till, because they know it works, they just got to, you know, do it louder. So yeah, she's probably in the
dogs are the same way. That's how I train my dogs.
She's probably in the beginning throes of trying to
stop it. Yeah. It was so much. And then there was this woman.
Yeah. I didn't have a spanking mother, so that would not have been, I mean, I can count on one hand the times I remember actually getting spanked or hit by a parent, but I would get sent to my room, or I would, she would have pulled us out of there. Although, to be fair, my mother rarely took us in the store.
That's what I was going to say. My father did not take me in the store.
we're from because with you guys, since I don't drive, he could go to the store and do all this stuff and we'd all be at home. So there was never that situation of taking kids to the store with you and having them hang off of you, because I am always at home with the kids while he's out running all the errands and stuff. So, and that's perfectly fine with me. Some people hear that and think, oh, poor Dani was left at home, but I am a homebody. So I don't mind being left at home. And just like this is one of the few things that my husband and I agree on, again, that makes it sound like we argue. It's not that we argue. It's just that we are really, they say opposites attract. The two of us are really opposites. But this is one area where we are on the same plane, which is we don't deal with kids out in public acting the fool. If you cannot behave when you are out in the store, then you don't get to go be out in the store. You get to stay at home. And that's why people always, That's why people always commented on how well behaved my kids are. It's like, yeah, we let them out of their cage. Do they know if they want to be out again? They better, they better behave.
If you want to go somewhere, don't be doing silly stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. Because you never know when you're going to get to go again. So I'm going to enjoy this while I'm out. But yeah.
But there was that, and then there was another interaction yesterday. There were three interactions yesterday, really. But while we're on the subject of kids, so there was this mom who came in, and
I'm coloring, by the way. That's why my head's down. I'm listening to you.
You're good. There were these parents that came in, mom and dad that came in, and mom was trying to help shop for what looked like 10-year-old's birthday or whatever. And while mom and the 10-year-old were like looking and picking stuff, the other two children were running rampant in the store, and dad was spaced out, did not do anything until my manager came around and gave her mom eye and like cut side eye at him. And he's like, okay, kids, we need to put that balloon down. That's not ours and we're not buying it. We need to put it down. But he was like they tore through the store, hats all over the floor, like costume stuff, bells and stuff. Like they tore through the store. And if my manager had not cut side eye at him, probably would have continued to let them do that. Like, what is the point of bringing both parents into the store if one of them isn't going to do anything with the other kids? But then
he's one of the parents who's probably like, oh, I'm babysitting my children. No, you're not babysitting if they're your own
parenting kids. Your children.
So you're used to I bet his wife is the disciplinarian in that house. And since her back was turned, no discipline was taking place.
But then she also irritated me because they had two piñatas. There was a video game piñata and like an Xbox controller piñata and a basketball piñata. And the kids having a Space Jam party, but they were holding up the two piñatas. One was $20, the other was $25. So the difference was negligible. And she's like, okay, so which piñata do you want? Because the price is negligible, so which piñata do you want? And the kid is like, I want the controller piñata. And the mom is like, well, make sure we're thinking about this because the basketball will fit in more with your Space Jam theme. And the kid is like, it's okay, I really like the controller piñata. And she's like, well, also think the basketball will be easier for kids to smash. And the kid's like, well, I don't want it to be super easy for them to smash. And she's like, no, it won't be that easy, but it'll be easier for us to hang and smash.
She's really trying to get that basketball because she wants
exactly.
She wants
exactly. And me and my coworker right after the fact were like, why are you going to say, if you want to pick a thing, then just pick the thing. Don't say, hey, you can pick between these two things, but make sure it's the basketball.
Exactly.
Like, don't give your child the illusion, because that kid clearly wanted the controller. And I like felt bad, and I was trying to figure out a way to say something to like to be on the kid's side, but I just couldn't figure it out because I have that issue too when I'm doing face painting. Exactly, Ronald. But I have the issue too when I'm face painting where I'll have like a little boy come up and he's like, I want the butterfly face paint on my face, or I want the unicorn. And their mom or dad will be like, oh, well, why don't you get a spider? Or why don't you get Superman or blah, blah, blah. And I have to try to figure out a way to say, let this boy get his purple butterfly. Please, it'll wash off before the end of the day. Like, let this boy just have his $5 purple butterfly. It is not that serious.
Yeah.
It's just, and for some parents, you really just have to let it go. Sometimes I'll like throw a little glitter in there just to try to make them a little bit happy. But it's a struggle. It's a struggle when parents are like, you can choose, but don't choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, Ronald. It's frustrating. So there was that. So that whole family was just stressful to me. And then I had a woman come in. I don't have to leave until 1 today, so I'm going to take some time to rant. But there was a woman who came in who just like, I don't know, it was chaos, and she like didn't know what she wanted. It's hard to explain. She ordered balloons online, and then she brought the balloons in. And first of all, she said that one of the balloons, so our balloons come in like a little like cellophane package. And then you open it up and then you can take out the balloon and inflate it. And she ordered Mylar balloons. tell me why she brought her little Party City bag back, and she said that one of the balloons was just put into the bag, no Mylar package or anything. It was just the loose Mylar balloon in the package. No one in my store would do that. I am the newest person in the store, and I know not to do that. No one in the store would do that. That is not how we do orders. So I don't know what the hell that was. But then she also was like, oh, well, online, she was so specific, and it looked like it was a party for a friggin' 13-year-old, but she was so specific. She's like, oh, online, this looked like it was royal blue, but this isn't royal blue. And so I brought her over, and I was like, these are the blues that we have. We have this blue, which is the one that you have in your hand. But she kept like grabbing the package and like flipping it over and looking at it, and she's like, can we open it up? Can we inflate it to see the right color? And I'm like, holding them right next to each other. They are the same balloon. They are the same balloon. And I was like, when we had this blue. And so she was like, so, I don't know. I just don't know. And she's like, yeah, it looked different on the computer monitor, which I understand. I just don't understand why the color is that specific, I guess. And then she had ordered like 2 pink balloons and a gold balloon that also was part of that bundle, and she like completely got rid of those and bought 2 other balloons. And I was like, I'm just frustrated when people know what they want and don't just buy what they want. Like if you didn't want the purple, I don't know, because there was another lady who like picked up some champagne glasses, and she's like, okay, I want to buy these champagne glasses. We went through the entire process of buying champagne glasses. I hand her receipt, and she's like, oh, the other ones had like a crystal bottom on them. And I'm like, in my head thinking, then why didn't you pick up the other ones? So she went to the back and picked up the other ones, brought them to the front. I had to do a full return and then rebuy the second boxes of champagne glass. I was like, why did you bring these up in the first place if this isn't what you wanted? Ugh. People are being friggin' crazy. And then the last thing,
I guess I can sympathize a little bit with that simply because I am an indecisive person, and you know that I am. But I do all my indecisiveness before I ever get to the store. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Don't do your indecisiveness with me.
Like, or if I'm in the store, I'm back in the aisle going,
exactly.
Okay, do I want this or do I want that? I'm not at the register. By the time I've gotten to the register, I've made the decision.
Exactly. I
was just doing that the other week when I was with your Aunt Terry, and we went to the game store and we went to the Ding and Dent shelf, and I was like, okay, I kind of want this game, but this game's only $10, but I've never tried this game before, so I don't know if it's good. But I also want to, and then
my headphones died.
Duh. Get new headphones. Quick
change.
Get new headphones.
I thought the last one isn't
this. Can you hear us now?
Hang on. Okay, we're back.
Yay!
But yeah, the decision making needs to be made before you reach my register.
Yeah. By the time I've gotten to the register, it's like, hurry up and ring me up before I change my mind.
I also have a lot of that, Ronald, mid-transaction.
Because it is taking me so long to make the decision. And if you take too long, if I have to stand too long in line waiting behind other people to get to the register or whatever, I might change my mind again. So please hurry up and ring me up.
But there's also people who will do the extreme and they won't make a decision. They'll come up to me and say, okay, I'm throwing a party for my wife. What balloons should I get? And I'm like, I don't know, Sandra. Why would I how do I know what to get for Sandra? I don't know her. She's your wife. What? Or like coming in like, oh yeah, I'm trying to buy these balloons for my boyfriend. What should I get? And I'm like, I don't know Kyle. Why would I know what balloons to get for Kyle? Like, what you gotta at least give me something to go on. You can't just say I'm buying balloons for my boyfriend.
What they want you to say, I think maybe what they want you to say is, well, most people who throw boyfriend parties get this kind of balloon. Or
most people who throw boyfriend parties know their boyfriend and buy something that their boyfriend is gonna like. And it's not even that simple either, because some people will go like, oh, all blue balloons, or some people are like, his favorite color is green, so the all green balloons, or some people are like, let's do the video game balloons. Like, it is super not that simple. And I need you to make a decision, please. There was a man yesterday, which I went ahead and helped him because I was like, I'm not doing anything else. Nobody else is in the store. Let me help you out. But he's like, I'm throwing a party getting some balloons for my wife's 44th birthday. And I don't know what to get. And like, I like this balloon. Can you help me pick colors that match this balloon? So I just went ahead and picked the colors that match. Cause he gave me something to go on. He's like, I like this balloon. Give me latex balloons that match this balloon. And I was like, that I can do. That is a task that I can do. But don't just say like, but then he did come to the counter, and he had 2 birthday cards. And he's like, so I was going to do this one from my 2-year-old. Like, this was going to be from her. Does that look cute? And I looked at it, and I was like, yeah, it looks cute. And he's like, and then I was going to give her this one. Does that look good? And so I read through the card, and it was like, it was a sweet card. It's very much like I enjoyed the friendship that we've had over the years, and like blah blah blah, Hallmark card or whatever. And I was like, yeah, it looks cute. I like it. It looks good. And he's like, but don't just be trying to make a sale now. And I'm like, you can't say that to me because that's my job. I'm sorry. You can't say that to me. It's my job. But the last thing that really absolutely drove me crazy was it gave me the ick. This woman came in, and they were clearly buying supplies for an 11-year-old's birthday. And so they came in and they were asking where the confetti was. And so because I'm not really supposed to leave the counter super often because I'm usually the only one at the counter, I need to be able to be there to help people. And so I pointed them to the back where the confetti was. And so the husband walks off. The wife kind of pulls me aside a little bit, and she's like, I need 2 big number 1 balloons. And I was like, okay. And so we picked out the gold number 1 balloons. And she came up and paid for them. And she's like, please don't let him see me paying for this. And I was like, okay. And so he was coming up. He's like, I didn't see the confetti. And so I walked to the back with him getting the confetti while she finished paying for the balloons, like finished the transaction up there. Because by that time, one of my coworkers was up there. So she finished paying for that transaction up there. So I walked him back there with confetti. Tell me why and I need to have this conversation with Wayne, but tell me why he was like shouting through the store, babe, where the hell are you? If I am in a store and Wayne says, where the hell are you? I'm walking out the door, getting in the car, and he's going to have to find a ride home. Never. It just made me it was so like, because he gave such a bad energy, like bad, like, and I didn't like it. And he looked like he was older than her too. Like, not by a lot, because they both looked like, it looked like she was like, she could have been 35 and he was 40. Like, so not like a lot, but like an older boyfriend or whatever. And so then we get up to the front. She comes back, gets the confetti or whatever. I go back to the front. They get up to the front, pay for the confetti, and then walk out without the balloons. And then I was like, what? I thought this was just a bit so that he couldn't say anything until you had paid the money. I don't know what to do. And so I just pinned the balloons down. They walk out. They walk all the way to the car. I guess they had driven separate cars. They walk all the way out to the car. She walks into his car, wait for him to drive away. And then she comes back and gets the balloons. And she's like, thank you. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what to do with these balloons. I didn't know if you're coming. She was like, yeah, I just really had to sell it so he didn't think that they were mine. And I was like, I hope y'all are not having a fight over this later. It should not be that serious.
Really?
Yeah, it was really like, it was giving bad vibes. It was giving.
And I mean, you're doing this now, but what's going to happen when you're at the party and he sees
and you have
balloons,
$28 worth of balloons? Okay,
where did these balloons come from? Who bought the balloons? What lie are you going to tell then about the balloons?
Exactly. Like, it's...
I mean, I appreciate her because it sounds like she wanted to do something a little more extra, like maybe the boyfriend only wanted to do this amount for the kid, but she really wanted to do this amount for the kid.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy for the kid that the mother cares, but what's going to happen when
he sees that you brought the balloons? Yeah, it was bad vibes. Bad vibes.
So, market stuff. So you didn't have markets this week, right? I'm just remembering. Nope. I was just asking for market stuff, but then I remembered you didn't have markets because they had to change everything around.
Yeah, they changed it because of the weather. So instead of doing market, because Wayne already had the day off, so me and my D&D group all got together and we just went to Fay Nectar. It was my first time going to Fay Nectar without like vending
as a customer.
Yeah, and so we went to Fay Nectar. I still had a free drink ticket, so I used my free drink ticket and got myself a cheeky little mead. And
cheeky little bevy.
Yeah, a cheeky little bevy.
Your sister's still waiting for us to have our game stream with cheeky bevies.
I know.
We never get together, and every time she gets on this, she says, "Are we having cheeky bevies this week?"
I just never have cheeky bevies. I need to remember to buy cheeky bevies is the thing. So, but I might be able to soon because Fay Nectar now has their bottled mead, and so I want to buy just a bottle of the lavender mead because it's very yummy. And I keep meaning to get you a bottle of lavender mead because you've been wanting to try mead.
Yes,
I'll eventually do it. But
speaking of things that I put in my mouth, how about that? I understand why they don't like this.
Oh, what's wrong with it?
It has
like chalky.
No, it has it doesn't really taste strawberry. It has the overwhelming taste of what I realized after looking at the label. What I'm tasting is stevia.
Oh.
And stevia is okay to me in tea, but I don't like it in other things. And it's really overwhelming, this thing. I'm eating it because, okay, now what are you having?
Hold that back up. My room service has been delivered. I had a croissant with sausage and cheese and a cheese stick.
Okay, that's a relatively healthy meal for you.
It's a Sasha's croissant. That's not really healthy. That's just breakfast food.
Well, no, usually you're eating chips and
that's true.
Tea and stuff like that. So
I'm usually snacking.
You're eating a meat, you're eating a protein and a bread and some dairy. So if we could just get you some fruit on that plate, it'd be a healthy breakfast.
Lemon.
That doesn't count. How about fruit cups? Do you like fruit cups?
I like fruit Jello cups. I like the ones that have the Jello. And I like canned pineapple whenever I remember and I'm at the store and if it's like on sale, I'll get canned pineapple and I eat canned pineapple all the time. I love canned pineapple.
I'm eating that Crunch bar because I got to get something on my stomach so that my stomach doesn't hurt, but it's not tasty.
Yeah, you look not very happy about it. But anyway, so we what kind of meads do you like, Ronald? The only mead that I really like is the lavender mead from Fay Nectar. It is good. They have another mead, but the other one is elderberry hibiscus, and I do not like the taste of elderberry. I cannot stand the taste of elderberry. One of my friends laughs every time we talk about elderberry stuff because she makes infused vinegars and elderberry syrup because she's very witchy and like these are good, healthy, well, witchy, but also like knowledgeable. Like she studied these things and elderberry is supposed to be like really good for you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Lori, I love you. I do not like elderberry. And so she now knows anytime she's got a new thing and she's got like infused honeys and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, can I try the new honey? She's like, it's got elderberry in it. I'm like, thank you. I do not like elderberry. I would try to wide swath flavors. I've liked all the ones that I've tried. Yeah, it's and they're usually pretty sweet. Which, mommy, you like sweet?
I like sweet. Right?
You like sweet? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because they're usually pretty sweet. Because other people really like the like dry ones, and I'm like, well, first of all, mead is a honey wine, so it's gonna be kind of sweet, but also dry alcohol is gross. Hot take.
What I say.
Hot take. But so we went and hung out.
Your sister Sydney likes dry wines. I am not.
It's not for me.
Not for me either.
But so we hung out at Fay Nectar, which our D&D group is 6 people. Me and Wayne obviously have been to Faye Nectar before. Two of my other friends who live fairly close to Faye Nectar, they've been there before. They went 1 week without me, and they were name dropping me, which I was like, oh my god! They came, they came dressed up and everything. And they're like, oh, thank you so much for dressing up. And they're like, yeah, actually, our friend Ben's here sometimes, Maya. And they're like, oh, you mean Artemis? And they're like, yeah, that's our friend. And they were like name dropping me and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, I'm being name dropped. But so they had been there before, but then our other two friends had never been there before, so they got to come for the first time. They said they really loved it. I was just frustrated because they rightfully canceled all of the stuff for that day because it was pouring rain. And I was so upset because I wanted to like walk them around the like field and show them the like trebuchet, and like we could sit around the fire pit and everything, but we really
fire pit. You should have mentioned that. Your Aunt Terry would be there in a shot with a fire pit.
Right, the fire pit is so cozy. Like when it's like when the sun starts going down, you can sit around the fire pit and like the
I don't understand. Nice. I don't understand the attraction myself. That's a white people thing, but okay.
It's the same kind of feeling of if it's cold outside and you have your heater on. It's like that, but it's like a crackling.
But you're still outside, so
you are, but it's cozy anyway. So they got to see some of it, and we got to go because right now Faye Nectar, like if you were to walk into Faye Nectar right now, the section where the bar is not where they intended the bar to be permanently. You can actually walk through the back, which we did. I was able to get Tom to give us a tour. You can walk through the back and see they've put in a new bar with this, like, it's a huge bar with the live edge, which is really good because the bar right now is very like small. And so people have to like crowd up to get in line. There was a crowded line literally the entire time that we were there. We had to like, every time we wanted to drink, we had to go wait in line. It was huge. But, so they've got a much bigger bar so they can have 2 to 3 bartenders behind it. They've got 2, I can't remember what they're called, but they have them in like England, but it's like the booth seat, but it's really like cozy, like they're really small, like cozy booth seat. So they've got 2 of those, and then they've got a 2-way fireplace. So there's the fireplace, you can see through one side, and then you walk around to the other side of the fireplace, and then that's where the music is going to be performing, and then it goes right out to the deck, and the deck has doors that open all the way up. So during the summer, they can have the doors completely open and just like people can walk in and out and stuff. It's very nice over there. Last time I was over there were huge holes in the floor and things were not done. They finished the floor and have the finishing on the floor and everything. It looks nice. So we got to go see that. But then my DM surprised us.
One of the days when they get that finished, you should let me know, and maybe me and Terry can take a girls trip up there.
Yeah, they said that they're trying to have the plan is that they are going to have the other side open in 3 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's been a long time coming, but their plan is to have it open in 3 weeks. So after they've got it done, then I will get the days for the upcoming like big events, and then I can let you guys know, and you guys can come down on one of the festival days.
That would be cool.
But so our DM surprised us and printed out all of our character sheets. And so we were wanting to play at Faye Nectar, but it was so crowded. Like we had dibs on a table because one of my friends was sitting at a table. And and they said, yeah, whenever we get up, you guys can have the table. But they were like chilling for a while, which like understand, like I wasn't trying to rush them up or anything. They can just like, I just wanted dibs on their table whenever they got up. But they were chilling there for a while, and we were like we had a few drinks, and then we're just kind of hanging out in the rain. But then one of our other friends mentioned another bar that was not too far away and was didn't put us too far away from our house. It was kind of a lateral move to Hendersonville, which is like the next town over. And so it's like a board game bar. And so we went over there instead.
A board game bar?
Yes. So we went over there instead, and we're able to get a table. We had to walk uphill in the rain though. It was chaos. But it wasn't very far. And also like basically right behind that bar is an Edgar Allan Poe themed bar that's like, it's like underground. Like, so there's the building, and then imagine like, you know, when there's a deck and there's like the beams for the deck, and then like the underneath. It's like that. There's like the building and then the beams, and then underneath that building in like a little basement area is this like dimly lit bar that's an Edgar Allan Poe themed bar. Freaking crazy. But so we went to the board game bar, and we were able to get a table and hang out and play. And I had the best pretzel I have ever had in my life. It was such a good pretzel. It was just a big, like, soft, warm, salty pretzel, and it came with mustard, which I gave to Wayne, and queso. And so I dipped my pretzel in queso. It was so good. I could have eaten 7 more of those pretzels. But we hung out and we played. So good. We hung out and we played D&D, and I like peeked at the games that were on the bar. They had, or that were on their like board game shelf. They had Azul, they had Ticket to Ride Europe, they had regular Ticket to Ride, they had King of Tokyo. So a lot of our, regular favorites was chilling over there. But we didn't play any of those. We played D&D, and then we peaced out. But it was a very nice night. It was fun.
Well, I'm glad that you had fun.
Yeah.
I am glad that you had fun.
All right, we can switch over to crafty things. Wait, I can figure it out. I can figure this out. Yeah.
You did it all by yourself. I am so proud of you.
I am learned.
I am so proud of you. So I know you've been working on increasing your
you stall and talk about your drawing stuff for like 2 seconds. All of it is over there.
Okay, well,
I just gotta go grab things.
Well, you go grab things, but instead of me talking about my
talk about Ariana Grande or something I don't want to hear about.
Oh, you mean you don't want to hear about Ray?
What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Goodbye. I can't hear you.
Ray, 20th century. Let me see if you got music going. But 20th Century Blues, I watched several of the concerts over the weekend because they've got several of her live performances on YouTube. Because she has a song called Escapism that I really like, and let me see if I can pull it up. She has a song called Escapism that I really like, and I've been listening to her. And then she did a performance with the orchestra at Royal Albert Hall. So then that led me to listening to other of her live performances. There's several of them up on YouTube. Her name is Raye. And I'm just really feeling her right now. You got your stuff?
I did, but you can talk now because I talked for a long time and I don't want my croissant to get any colder.
Okay, well, eat your croissant. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I like Ray.
What kind of music does she do? They do?
It's like a kind of an R&B. You've heard that song Escapism, right?
I do not know.
Well, if you turn off the background music, I will bring up some Ray. How about that? Okay. She did this song, Escapism, is more of a rap song, but this one of her on Jimmy Fallon. Let's see if that one is a good one, because I haven't watched this one yet. Let's see. Can you hear that?
No, I have that tab muted. I'm gonna unmute it.
She's gonna have books as High heels 6 inch in the back of the nightclubs and champagne. I don't trust any of these. I'm with in the back of the taxi, sniffing some pain. Drunk calls, drunk texts, drunk
It
tears.
sounds familiar.
Man was on the same page. Now it's back to the intro, to the bar, to the Bentley, to the hotel, to my old ways. 'Cause I don't wanna feel.
This is her. She does like an orchestra version of the song. This is her doing the orchestra version of the song. Let me see if I can find.
Please have mercy on me. Take this pain away.
I like it though. I'm gonna mute it before we get in any kind of trouble.
Okay. Here is the original version that I fell in love with.
Okay. Let me. Do we have a commercial? We do. So I'm gonna leave it muted.
Go away, commercial.
Ooh, that Galaxy Samsung Ultra looks nice though. Let me unmute.
Looks nice.
The Galaxy Samsung Ultra, that phone look nice.
Oh.
Sleezing and teasing, I'm sitting on him. All of my diamonds are dripping on him. I met him at the bar, I was 12 or something. I ordered 2 more wines, cause tonight I want him. A little context if you care to listen. I find myself in a shit position. The man
I think I have heard this song before actually.
I know you've heard it because I put it on our music
My heart is ripping. In fact, I don't wanna feel, so I stick to sipping. And I'm out on the town with a simple mission. In my little black dress and the shit is sitting. Just a heartbroken bitch, high heels 6 inches in the back of the nightclub.
Some champagne.
Okay. I'm gonna mute it before we get in any kind of trouble. But you've been listening to her stuff lately?
What'd you say now?
Oh, I muted it so we don't get in any kind of trouble or anything. But you said you've been listening to her stuff recently?
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Okay.
several of her live performances on YouTube if you're interested in checking her out.
So what are you?
She's another one. She's
Oh, I was gonna switch us over to Artie Crafty stuff.
Artie Crafty stuff. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go first.
Yep.
Even though I was trying to finish my picture before we got to it, but I guess not. But I did finish because again, all I've got is coloring on the brain. So for some reason, it's not anything to be really worried about. If I say these kind of things to your sister, she gets all sad and quivery lip and worried. It's not anything to be worried about. It's just that I don't have a lot of energy in my arms right now. So to do things like, even when I do things like knitting, it feels like my arms just get tired after a few rows. So I haven't been doing a lot of knitting. I've done some, but I haven't been doing a lot. I'll show you what I'm still just working on the hat. And I've gotten a little bit further, but not much.
What you have looks good though.
Yeah, you can see a little bit further. You can see I've gotten
where the fold would be.
Yeah, you can see where the fold would be right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably going to work on that tonight, or I might work on it. It depends. I might work on it later this afternoon. I might work on it later in this call because I have discovered that both the coloring and the coloring I can do at night in my bedroom. Oh, you can see my little flowers. The coloring I can do at night in my bedroom with my little neck light, and that works okay. But the knitting works a lot better in here. Where like I have all this light coming in over here. Ooh, bingo wings. But I have the knitting works a lot better in here with all the light going.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try possibly. I don't like sitting in this chair a lot though. I mean, I have this chair is like a ticking time bomb. So I try to just sit in it when I'm working. And as soon as I'm done working, I'm up out of this chair because it is not the most comfortable chair for me. It's okay for a while. Like right now, I'm fine. But I get to a point where it's like, oh my God, if I don't get out of this chair, I'm going to fall over.
I feel the same way because I've been having that issue with my ankle swelling, and I've been wearing my like compression socks or whatever. And
how is working out for you?
They're working out pretty good, actually. I like need to. The problem is I'm not able to rest off of my feet as much as I want, and then also even sitting in this chair, my feet are down and not propped up.
Yeah,
where they need to be propped up. So I've started. I've got some milk crates in here, and so I've started like putting a milk crate beside me because I am really in a little nook. Contrary to what my fantasy cottage background says, I am really tucked in a little nook. And so the desk takes up half of the nook, and then my chair takes up the other half of the nook. So and then there's a wall like directly behind you guys. So I like my legs are under the desk, but I can't like stretch my legs out under the desk because there's immediately a wall directly behind you. So for me to stretch out my legs, I have to turn sideways and stretch my legs out this way into the room. And it's not like it's comfortable if I'm like doing stuff on the computer or like watching something for a quick minute or when I'm doing my makeup in the morning and everything, but it's not comfortable for like really long periods of time. I was actually looking, I know you and Wayne both hate this. I really want an inflatable couch to put in my office. But if everyone is going to be so against me having an inflatable couch, it just seems like it would be so squishy and comfy. But if everyone's going to be against me having an inflatable couch, the next best thing is I want a giant beanbag. Honestly, because that feels like it would be so cozy to just kind of like curl up and be able to like shift around however I want and crochet and everything. Because the people in my D&D group, two of them, at their house, they've got one of their pieces of furniture in their living room is a giant beanbag, and it is so comfy. I think I slept on that one of the nights when I like spent the night at their house. It is so comfy, and I really just want one for my room so I can sit.
I vote for the beanbag over the inflatable couch. I just feel like the inflatable couch is just going to be a waste. The beanbag will last longer, I think.
But beanbags are expensive. Like giant beanbags, expensive. A couple $100s. It's ridiculous.
Everything's expensive. Everything.
Right?
Life is expensive these days.
Anyway, stop stalling and show me what you're coloring.
Why?
Because I want to see, and also I'm eating my string cheese.
I'm not done. Well, let me just finish coloring this last little section. I'm not done. Speaking of which, I was watching one of the podcasts, and I don't call these things podcasts, but they started out as an audio podcast and they started adding video. So I call them a podcast. But the War Report was two comedians, Gastor Almonte and Shalewa Sharp. And the Shalewa was about my age, and Gastor is I think maybe your age, a little bit older. And so they were talking anyway. They were talking about their show. They talk a little bit about life, and then they talk about crazy things they've seen in the news. And so they were talking a little bit about their life stuff at first, and they were talking about doing kids' crafts. And in particular, they mentioned coloring as like something to do for your mental health. That you should not be ashamed of grabbing coloring books and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be art. It's just stuff because it makes you happy.
Yeah, people have been saying this for years.
I know people have been saying it for years, but I think, first of all, if there's one thing you know about me, is that I feel like I need approval for stuff.
That's true.
You know, like even like one day I was thinking, tuna and a hard-boiled egg sounds like it would be really good right now.
I do not give you approval.
But I would not eat it until I went online and looked to see if people put hard-boiled eggs in their tuna salad. if
And they
it's a
should.
thing. Because if I didn't find anybody doing it as a thing, I would not have eaten it, even though it sounded good to me.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild.
That just shows you how I am, where in a lot of things I feel like I need approval, that it's not necessarily permission to do it, but just like, okay, this is a thing that other people do, so it's not weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody out there who does it, so it's not crazy.
But you could be the somebody that does it. If everybody did that, then no one would do anything.
That's true, but I don't know. So it just hearing them talk about it, just the way they were talking about, because I hear other people talk about, oh yes, coloring is self-care and blah blah blah, and that woo-woo stuff goes right over my head. But the two of them are very down-to-earth New Yorkers, and well, he's a New Yorker and she's living in New York, but she's actually from Georgia. So, and she's my age. So it's like two down-to-earth people saying it in a more down-to-earth way, like resonated with me more than all these, new agey woo-woo, self-care and using all the, mental health therapy words. Yeah. So, okay, so I finished the giraffe, and the tan and peach are sitting better with me.
I like it. It looks good. Yeah,
I'm going to embiggen myself for a second.
Bro, that looks so good.
So, yeah, I'm happier with the tan peach. My favorite part of this picture, though, is I like the way the browns work together. That's why I was upset. The browns and the gray added into it. That's why I was upset.
Yeah.
That's why I was upset when I had to add the peach to it, because I felt like because I did the browns and grays first, because I always go in numerical order when I do these things. And so I did the browns and grays first, and I was like, ooh, I'm really liking this. And then it was time to add the tan and peach, and I was like, ugh, I don't like it. And that's where you saw it last week, was when I first added the tan, and I was like, ugh, I do not like this at all. And what I did, by the way, was the tan that I used looked like peach to me. So on all the ones that were supposed to be peach, I pulled the colored pencil that was tan, and I just pulled that in there.
Okay.
So that's another thing I'm doing. I've discovered, as I was trying to find colors that worked for me in this, because there are like this color palette for this book is 22 different colors. And so as I'm trying to find what colors would work, I realized that I have Crayola fine tips, I have Crayola colored pencils, I have alcohol markers, some no-name alcohol markers I got on Amazon. Somebody got me for Christmas 2 years ago. I have the Ohuhu water-based markers that she got me for my birthday. And what else do I have? I feel like there's something else, because I've got Crayola.
Yeah, I remember we were talking on Sunday. You were like, I was going through myself looking for something and just realized how many coloring implements I have.
And I have some black gel markers that I got when I briefly went through the phase of doing these things.
Oh yeah, I remember those were cool.
Which I quickly realized are really not my thing. I still have 2 books of them, so I'll do more of them, but they're not really my thing.
I like them,
I think. But so, and this is the picture that I've been working on this week, because I finished the giraffe on Sunday, I think. So this is the picture I've been working on this week.
I like that one.
I like the flowers. I like everything, like the pot and all of this up here. I do not like the table.
No,
I would
why?
not. I would not have chose those colors for the table. I just don't like them. Even though
I
they're the
don't want
same.
to choose colors. I'm so afraid to choose colors for things, but I don't like the colors that they chose.
These are the same browns and gray. It's the same thing with the giraffe. You see, there's browns and grays. And this time I chose the tan and peach from the colored pencils because the tan and peach for the colored pencils actually look tan and peach. Whereas the ones that I chose from the markers did not look like the right colors. So I chose the tan and peach from the colored pencils. And then these are the Crayola markers. This gray and the browns are the Crayola markers. I just don't. I like them on the giraffe. I don't like them in this picture though. I don't feel like they go with the rest of the picture. But again, I'm not good at choosing colors, so it would stress me out because I don't know what colors I would choose instead. I just don't like those. Or maybe I would.
That's why you gotta buy 2 coloring books and just test one and then do a different one.
Although maybe I would have done just like all brown and put more of the gray in there and left the peach and tan out altogether.
I feel like that would look decent.
I don't know, but yeah, this is the one that I'm working on right now. So you see, I'm almost done because I just have like 3 colors to do.
Yeah, looks good
on this one. So I think after this one, I'm probably going to choose these fantasy ones like we showed before. These fantasy ones are like my least favorite ones. They look very childish to me.
They do look kind of childish, but I think it's a weird like sort of anime style, but not quite like anime inspired style, but not quite anime enough to feel like it's for a grown up and not like a kid's like Nickelodeon show or something.
But I think I'm probably either going to do one of the quest ones next, or I'll probably do one of the quest ones next because all these other ones are just like, because the country life ones look just like the fantasy ones. That same. It just looks like those look like a kid's coloring book to me.
Those absolutely look like characters in one of your mobile games that you would play. Like in like a mobile farming game. Those absolutely look like characters from one of those games, like Love and Pies.
Oh Lord. So I'm probably going to do another mosaic one, maybe, or one of the quest ones, or maybe I might even just do the stamps.
Ooh, yeah, those look fun. I really want to get some of those coloring pages so I can use them as outlines for remember when I did the like dragon stained glass thing?
I like that.
I also like that. But remember when I did the dragon stained glass thing that ended up shattering before I could even sell it?
Yeah.
I drew out that dragon myself. Like I completely like created that from scratch myself. But the coloring pages that you're doing, those look already like very nice stained glass. If I can find a simple enough one that I have colors for, maybe I'll just find one of those pictures and do that. And just
or I could do one of these.
Ooh, that one looks fun. That makes me think of henna.
So yeah, I'll probably either do one of the these are called pattern animals, is what this book came from. So either the pattern animals or one of these, which is a total mystery.
See, I would want to do that. Did Ronald finish the crossword?
Yeah, he sure did. I'm about to put another one up, but yeah, he sure did. So
just completely finished it. I have been over here crocheting, so I haven't even hopped into the crossword. Good job for you, Ronald.
Honestly, yeah, the mystery ones were what got me into coloring to start with. So I will probably, those are the ones that I'm always drawn to, are the mystery ones, because like we said before, I need justification or permission or whatever to do things. And there's another, we'll do that one.
While you're pulling up a new crossword and we're talking about mystery things, Ronald, did you ever get a chance to look at the jigsaw puzzle thing? I put it in the Discord and I think you saw it. But the jigsaw
art pieces?
Yeah, this like it's you read because the commercial makes it sound so interesting. Like you read the comic book and something happens in the comic book and it ends with a cliffhanger, and then on the box is like an image of what the puzzle should look like. Or like you have a page, it's like an image of what the puzzle should look like. And then when you put the puzzle together, things have changed. So like, okay, yeah, I was wondering if it was just me. Cause I was like, but I also get like weird advertisements, especially on YouTube. Like I just got a friggin' Spectrum internet commercial in Spanish. And I'm like, first of all, I don't speak Spanish. Second of all,
I got that one too.
Spectrum.
I got that one too.
So weird. I don't understand what I'm doing to make YouTube think that I need Spanish commercials. But the puzzle looks fun. It looks really fun. If I had an open space enough to do a puzzle, which if I worked on my New Year's resolution and actually cleaned my table, then I would. Instead of cleaning my table over there, I've been curating a cute little corner nook over here. And so I've got like, I wonder if I can, maybe I can just figure out a way to show you, because I have a cute little corner nook over here that I actually kind of want to show off because I am very proud of it. Let me, now that I have access to things.
Oh Lord, what are you doing?
We're about to find out. Oh, don't embiggen me. No, I'm just gonna see if I can pull in a picture. I think I can. What does, let's see,
because you are fancy.
Yeah.
Present is what you want.
Yeah, I just am trying to get it because I took the picture on my phone, which means that it's going to be in my Google Photos, and it just uploaded. And so now, if I
while you're working on that,
yeah,
while you're working on that, your father became the recipient of 6 bricks of Dominican coffee.
What?
And so I am sitting here. The back of the box is all in Spanish, and I refuse to get Google Translate out and take a picture of it. So I'm sitting here trying to pick through the words. I had no success whatsoever. Other than I figured that it was Dominican because I found that on there. I mean, I can pick out random words like here, Dominicano, a city in America, tradition, hot or spicy. A cup. Those are the only words I could pick. What do you love, Ronald? That I can't read the Spanish? Is that what you love? Because so are you going to show us your little nook that you're curating?
I am. Where's my tab? There we go. Google Photos tab. There we go. There's that, and then
cute.
Yeah, so that's what's directly to my side over here. I've got that's a picture of mushrooms that I bought from, it's a stamp print. So she did like a it's not like lino cut, I think. So you take like a big piece of rubber essentially, and you carve out the sections that you don't want to be printed. So all the white sections of that little mushroom are like carved out or whatever. So I bought that cute little, well, I actually traded it. I traded it for, because she wanted her kids to get some henna and face paint. So I traded for that. And then up in the little corner is a little elephant tarot card that I got from another friend at another event who is like, I felt like you needed this. And I was like, okay, sweet. And then you see my little Moomin tchotchke, which is currently spinning. And then I've got a little Wish bottle that's got like salt and cinnamon and bay leaves and stuff. Or it's like a good luck, like a charm thing. And then the next to that on the right is a rose quartz and little like piece of foliage or something. There was at one of the Fae Nectar markets, because usually when the kids come to the Fae Nectar markets, they'll try to do like trinket trades. And so I had some little necklace or something. And so this little girl wanted to do a trinket trade. And so that is the trinket that she traded me. Was they were originally glued together, but for some reason the glue has like popped off. And so it's just a little piece of foliage that had like a crystal glued to it. And so now those are tucked over there. And then my little candle where I burn my incense and my dice tower. Is it so cute?
Adorable.
I don't normally decorate spaces because we live in apartments where it's hard to decorate things without like tearing up the house and everything. And so all of my decorative things have just kind of been packed away forever. So I'm like, let me decorate my little corner.
I don't decorate spaces because this house is just full of clutter and every space is just covered with something. Even if you try to, if I try, our house, if I tried to curate a little nook like that, pretty soon somebody would throw their keys on there. Mm-hmm. There'd be a bunch of other junk thrown on there, and then it wouldn't be a cute little nook anymore.
Yeah, I have to actively make sure that before I go to bed at night, because I'll sit like my drink cup over there, or like I'll sit my crochet hook over there. I have to like actively remind myself before I go to bed at night to move all of the things out of my cute little nook, so that it stays a cute little nook. And thank you. I love this dice tower too, Ronald. I bought this at Fae Nectar, and it's just a wooden dice tower that got put together, but it came with wooden dice. Okay,
cute. Dice. Those dice remind me of even though I've not played this game, I've only seen it online, but there's a game called Dice Forge, I think it's called, where you can change what the size of the dice look like depending on where you are in the game, or what powers you gain in the game. You change what the things look like. So, oh no, I deleted a whole thing. Oh no.
A whole thing? What'd you delete? Oh, we can put the music back on. I'm gonna put on a different music.
Okay. I'll have to fix that later. No, I'm on Google Keep, and as I'm talking to you, I'm like, oh, well, she doesn't need the StreamYard link anymore now that she can add it herself. And so I was trying to delete that, and I deleted everything that was under that. So now, which all it was just my list of things to talk about if I have to vamp while you run across the room. So it's not like I really needed that, but
isn't there an undo button? Maybe not.
I do not see an undo button. Oh, there is. There is.
Yeah, I was like, it won't be there for me, but it should be there for you.
You are so smart. Did you turn the music up? Because I think it's louder than it was before.
It does feel. I didn't turn it up, but this is a different song, so maybe. Okay. Yeah, so night driving is louder than feeding the ducks, I guess.
Okay, so quickly, my bobble blanket is lost somewhere in my mess over here. I already showed you my progress on the hat I'm making. I was almost going to start a different hat, a crocheted version, so because I want to try to at least get one done before the cold weather goes away. Because he was just mentioning the other day that it was cold while he was at work, because he works that area right where they come in,
the doors,
so he's always getting the cold air. So I might put this one down briefly to see how quickly I can get a crocheted hat knocked out.
Yeah, because crochet hats are so fast.
Usually crocheted hats are really quick for me. And I thought a knit hat would be quick, but it's been years since I've knit a hat. So maybe they're not as quick for me anymore as they used to be, since my arms seem to be tired. Although right now my arms don't seem to be bothering me, so
maybe you just needed a break.
That, or it's the adrenaline of like being on this live stream. Because like right before we did this, I was like, I want to go back to sleep. I want to go back to sleep. And I've been like that ever since we switched to Wednesdays. I've been like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. But then as soon as I push myself to get up and get going and everything, by the time we get on camera, then I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I can do this. And I'm glad that I did it. But really 2 hours before this, I'm like, I do not want to get up. I want to call her and say, we're not doing this week.
You're up 2 hours before the stream? I am up 30 minutes before the stream.
Believe it or not, what everybody thinks about me, believe it or not, because your Aunt Terry thinks the same thing about me, that because I say that I'm not a morning person, y'all assume that I am not awake. But the problem is that I don't know if it's part of being a woman of a certain age, part of the hormonal changes I'm going through, or just being an older person, but I rarely sleep more than 7 hours. 7 hours is a good night. I rarely sleep more than 7 hours now.
Don't tell me that, because I've only been getting like 5 and 6 hours of sleep every night. And I want to go back to my 9 and 10 hours of sleep a night. And if you tell me that as I get older, I will not be getting my 9 and 10 hours of sleep a night, I am going to cry. I'm going to cry for the rest of my life. Don't tell me that.
For me to get that amount of sleep, I wake up and be awake for 2 or 3 hours, and then I could go back to sleep.
I hate it.
But no. I can't sleep straight like when I was younger, where I could sleep straight and it would be like 9 hours straight, and you wake up, like go to bed at 10 o'clock and then wake up, 10, 11 the next morning. I can't do that anymore.
Don't tell me that.
I cannot sleep straight. I mean, not only can I not do that anymore, it doesn't feel like a loss. So if it makes you feel any better, because you're thinking, oh, I won't be able to sleep for 10 hours and I'm going to feel like I miss it. But honestly, when I wake up after that 7 or 8 hours, it's like, it's because I can't lay here another second. My brain is going, hey, I really, I have the chance to sleep late now. You don't have to get up. But my body is going, yeah, you need to get up because you need some food. You need to pee. You need to stretch your leg. You need to, or even if it's none of that, it's just I'm laying here wide awake and I'm bored. So I might as well grab a book. So that's why when I say I'm not a morning person, it's that I can't jump out of bed and, just get going. I have to slowly move around when I get up, but I am awake because for instance, this morning, your father had to be at work at 8 o'clock this morning, which means that he kisses me goodbye at 7. And I'll be darned if I'm missing my morning kiss. So yes, I'm going to lift my head up and get my hug and kiss before he leaves. So once I've done that, then I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to read my book. This morning's book was awful and a waste of time. I'm going to read my book and what have you. And then I will feel ready to face the world normally around 12 noon. But because we're doing this, I'm having to make myself face the world earlier. I went to bed
At
last
10
night.
a.m.
Last night I went to bed earlier on purpose so that I could get up because I knew I had to do something to my hair when I got up this morning. Which, by the way, I can't sleep in those rollers. I thought it was gonna take a long time for my hair to dry, so I put the rollers in and planned to keep them in for 2 days because I'm not going anywhere. So I planned to keep them in for 2 days to make super sure it was dry. But after the first night, I was like, no, I cannot sleep on these another night. I hope that they are dry. So I took the curlers out last night, and it was perfectly dry. I took the curlers out last night before I went to bed, and then just didn't I just took the curlers out. I didn't manipulate them at all, fluff them before. So are we done with our crafty things? My bobble blanket is lost. My avatar blankets, I'm still clinging to that March goal that maybe I might at least have one square of each blanket done by March.
That feels like a good goal.
At least one square of each blanket. Because what I want to try to do is like do one square of Sydney's blanket and one square of Chloe's blanket so that it's fair. So I'm going to pick those back up as soon as I get these hats done. And I need to make some sort of adjustment to my schedule where I can sit in one of these rooms during the day where I can see because I'm getting perfect light right now.
Yeah.
In here.
So we just need to do a Friday morning live stream.
I don't get this light in my bedroom. Even during the daytime, I don't get this kind of light in my bedroom. This is perfect light right now. That's why I've put down my coloring and picked up the hat to work on while we finish chatting, because it would be a shame not to take advantage of this light, especially when I'm at a point in the pattern where I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, all my light in this corner is artificial. I've got my ceiling light because, like I said, there's a wall right here. So the windows are over there, but then there's a wall, and so it's like blocking half of the light. So I've got my ceiling light, my just above me light, because there's a light, because there's if we break the fantasy, there's a light switch right here, which is part of why I got a background. There's a light switch right here. But my above me in the nook light, the light has gone out. The bulb has died.
Oh no.
Yes, and it's one of those weird bulbs where where it's like set into the ceiling, so it's flush. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where there's like a hole in the ceiling. So it's one of those weird lights. So we haven't changed it yet because I honestly don't know that I can. So I've got my ceiling light over there for like the room light, and then I've got my lamp that's here at the table that is honestly blinding me a little bit. Is this too dark?
No.
Can light? Is that what that's called? Can light? Okay, I'm gonna leave this on. But I do have some things to show. So I showed the frogs last week, right?
Yes, you did show the frogs last week.
Okay. So I had the frogs, and I've been making I made a couple more crowns. I'm just looking for one particular one that is evading me. Where did you go? Okay. There's that one. And I swear I made one more that just is running away from me. There it is. Okay. So I got I'm going to turn the light back on me so that you can see the yarn. And I still need to weave in the ends for everything. So everything that I've showed, including the frogs from last week, I need to weave in the ends for everything.
Oh no.
Yes. So I think Friday is just going to be finishing Friday, and I'm just going to sit and weave in all my ends that day. But so I made another crown. We've got to turn the background off. We're goodbye, Fantasy Cottage. It was nice knowing ya. we got to turn the background off for now. Okay. And there's the light switch I was talking about. So I made.
That's nice.
It's just a cute little rainbow crown. So we've got another one. And then.
I don't have a blanket or a sweater in here.
Are you cold?
I am, and I thought that if I just turned my heater on, it would be fine, but the heater makes it too hot.
Yeah, I have that issue because my heater's been driving me crazy. And then I made a gold crown. This is velvet chenille.
I like that one.
Right? And it's the velvet chenille yarn. So there we go. The points stick up when you're like properly wearing it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it'll look cute. And then I've made a couple dice bags. I haven't put the ribbons in them yet. Because I still need to weave in the ends, but I'm going to put the ribbons in. And see, sometimes the light is just too bright. I just can't. I'm working on it. But I really like this yarn. I really like this. This is just a rainbow variegated yarn. I really like this one. And then there's also this one, which is like kind of cotton candy-ish. So I need to put some ribbons. Thank you, Ronald. I need to put some ribbons. And I have some more yarn in there because I was going to make some I got yarn colors to match the non-binary flag and to match the trans flag, since I have rainbow yarn, so rainbows galore, but I got the yarn for the non-binary flag and the trans flag, since those to me feel like the most popular and ones that people would be looking to grab things for. So I want to make some dice bags with those as well. But they're not like full skeins. They're the little like $1.30 mini skeins that they have at Homophobic Hobby Lobby. So I got those. And then I've also been making, and I am really liking these. I'm really glad that I actually started these because I've been looking at them for a while and was like, oh, well, maybe I won't. But then I actually started them and they're super easy. I know there's at least one more in here. Donde está? There it is. So I'll show you this one first because it's a bit easier to see. But I have been making these flower headbands.
Oh, cute.
Isn't it so cute? Just a cute little like flower crown headband.
Cute.
So this is using up the last of the rainbow yarn.
Uh-huh.
And so they've got like...
Is that blanket yarn? No,
this is just regular worsted.
Okay.
But they go, and then it's cute little, I think they're cute. And then I use the cotton candy kind of colored one. And I feel like these are going to be super cute. I would wear them, but I imagine people are going to get them for like their kids.
Or for if you go to like a festival.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
You know, where what am I trying to think? See, the first thing my brain says is Coachella, but you know, we're in North Carolina. So like whatever the North Carolina equivalent of Coachella would be.
Yeah, like hippy dippy festivals.
The hippy dippy festivals, yes.
And this is
I like that one.
Right?
Like that
it
one.
Looks like tie-dye.
I like that one.
So I've made a few of these, and these work up so quick because it's literally you make the flower and then you do a chain across the back and then start the next flower and do a chain. And the flowers are just like single crochet, half double, double chain, double, half single, and then you do a slip stitch and then start the next petal. So they are so easy. And then the only thing that stops me from making these is you and I both know that I hate making ties on things because I could either do because it's 60. So I could either just chain 60 and cut it off. But then where do I weave in my ends, people? Where do I weave in my ends? You can't weave ends into a chain. I literally was Googling for a hot minute. Where do I weave ends into a single chain? And no one talks about it, even though so many people are like, just make a chain of 60 and then weave in your ends. Bitch, where? Bitch, where? So what I've been doing is on yarns where I can, where it's not, where it doesn't really matter because it's like a variegated like yarn like this, then I'll just chain and then single crochet back across. And then I can weave in my ends back here or weave in my ends into the single crochet. And then in the ones where it does matter, where the colors fall, because this is like a long striping yarn. So if I went back over and it was a different color, then you'd kind of see it and it wouldn't look as nice in my opinion. And so I'm doing for these I think the creator called it a double chain. It's like you chain 2 and then you go into the first stitch and like pull up a loop and then pull through and then you like go back into the stitch. It's hard to explain. I can probably link a video or pull up the video maybe, but no, I don't have time for that. I can link a video, but it's like a double chain, but it essentially makes it thicker so there is somewhere for me to weave my end into. This I don't prefer.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I'll send you a link, or I'll send you a link. I'll put the link in the description.
Yes, please put the link in the description, please,
so everyone can have the link. But yeah, that is what I've been working on. I also am going to be making some more chickens. So this is a chicken base. I just have not finished the chicken part of it because I also like all those frogs that I was making before. I haven't stuffed any of the frogs either. And then, but those are like super easy. Literally, I just need to stuff the frog and then close up the butt, and then that frog is done. So it is not that hard. And then I am also making a snake.
Oh, cute!
Isn't it so cute? There's just big old face. It's so big. If this was a snake in real life, I should be concerned. It is so large. This is how far I've gotten so far.
Cute.
So, but I
was thinking about you yesterday because you know that video I sent you where I asked you if the lady sounded like she was from around here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I looked at some of her other videos and she had gone to Ollie's and they had all of this Ogo blanket yarn on an end cap. And I was like looking again because you kept saying there was no Ollie's near you. I said, is there an Ollie's anywhere near Asheville? And there is not.
There really isn't.
I was like, you need to go to Ollie's.
I need to go to Ollie's.
Because apparently that Ogo yarn just got, apparently knitters and crocheters just did not like that, the way that put up was. You bought some Ogo, didn't you?
No, Ari bought an Ogo one time. I did not, and I was there when he bought it. Like I was at the store because he was like, where's something where it can like look nice and blah blah blah, but I won't have to do. And I was like, well, this like will change the colors for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And didn't they say because Ogo is one that's like
I didn't know Ari crocheted.
He doesn't. He's trying.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know who's watching the stream. We'll wait till later. We can have this conversation after the fact. But he's trying to learn how to crochet. The problem is, like, he literally sent me because there's something that he wants to crochet, and he sent me a link, and he's like, "Are these stitches that I can learn like in this amount of time?" And I'm like, and it's like it starts off with magic circle, and I'm like, I mean, you can learn the magic circle. Magic circle is like hard for new people, or for some reason, magic circle is hard for new people. I don't know why, because it's not that hard. But I was like, you could probably, but we're about to have some video calls for me to. Actually, he's about to have to drive it from Georgia. Honestly, if he really wants some help, or Ari, are you listening? But we're about to have some video calls so I can try to help him out.
But so this is what was on sale at Ollie's, and you see it's like almost $13.
Yeah.
At Amazon. It was on sale for $5.
You have got to be kidding me.
$4.99, and they had tons of it.
Bruh, because I could, for $5 a skein, I could make myself some blankets.
Exactly.
People are constantly asking for the skein that I'm working on for this snake right now. This was $13, and I'm going to use every bit of it up on the snake.
Yep.
Outrageous.
I know that you use a lot of it. That's why I was like, I wish you had an Ollie's near you.
Why is it spelled monochrome? Is that what?
Yeah, that was a misspelling, I think.
Monochrome.
You're right. Yeah, that was a bad misspelling.
I didn't even see it.
Yep. I'm looking at, yep. That was a bad misspelling.
That's hilarious.
But
are we sure it's not on purpose? Like home, like Chrome, but like home? Or are we
I think it was just a misspelling on the Amazon listing.
Okay.
I don't think it's misspelled on the label like that. But
because that sounds like the kind of silly thing that marketing people would do.
You would think. I was trying to look and see if I see it on there, but I don't see it. No, but it might be because they've got it in both places spelled that way. It might be, who knows? But yeah, but for some reason, a lot of knitters and crocheters do not like. I mean, to me, it's just another way that they wrap the yarn. Why are you mad?
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out why we're still using skeins instead of cakes when skeins collapse in on themselves and get all knotted up and cakes do not.
And the thing is that most people
buy a yarn winder?
Yeah, thank you. They buy a yarn winder and they wind it back up. I was just thinking of putting a yarn winder on my Christmas list, even though I have
like the spinny thing,
the stick.
Yeah, hang on, where's my yarn bag?
There's a name for it that I can't think of right now, and I really can't think of it. Sometimes when you hear me pause, for those watching, sometimes when you hear me pause, I have I don't even have that.
Oh,
I have a sometimes when you hear me pause, it's because the word is in my head, but it will not make it all the way to my tongue. I have read that it is part of an MS thing where I know the word, but I can't get the word to come to my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, and my brain is going, refrigerator, refrigerator, refrigerator. And my mouth is going, that box where the cold food is, because I can't get it.
Mm.
But this time I genuinely cannot think of the word for what I'm talking about. But basically, it's just a wooden stick that people use to wind the yarn around by hand to make a ball. I do it on my thumb.
Yeah, I also will wrap it around my hand.
And then I bought a stick, and I used the stick for a while, but
see,
I think I would rather just have a winder that you just hook to the side of the table and just go like that.
My thing is, why do I need to take up more space in my crowded little craft room when they have the machinery to do it at the factory? Why am I caking up this yarn when we sell tools to cake up yarn? So we know that people want their yarn caked. You have the ability because you have other lines that you cake up, Lion Brand, Red Heart. You have other lines that you cake up. Why are you not caking up the one for me?
I think first of all, the cakes thing, and yes, Ronald, we do see your.
I brought it up because we're going to address it.
But there are people. I think it may be just a matter of the factories are already doing it this way. Oh, my battery's running low. The factories
so it would be money to like rearrange.
Yeah. Like they already have their factories set up to do it this way because people have had it that way for years.
Mm-hmm.
And not complained about it. And now with the cakes, it's like a novelty thing, so they can charge you more because it's a novelty.
You're already charging me more. The skeins have gone from $5 to $8 a piece. Please cake up my yarn.
This is true. The skeins are getting more expensive. Red Heart is not exactly the cheapy yarn anymore.
It's not. I've been buying like loops and threads, and I love this yarn. But that's what my yarn bag is for, Ronald. So my yarn bag that I frequently reach into over here. I haven't shown the yarn bag on the screen for a while. Let me pull that up. So, because I had another friend who was like, is that a bag specifically for yarn? Yes, it is. So this is my yarn bag that my friend lovingly found at a Goodwill with yarn and the hoops with the pegs on them for looms, with looms in it like at Goodwill for like $15 or $20 or something. So she bought this for me, but it's got holes in the top. So theoretically, what I should do if my bag wasn't full,
and
of
those bags go for like $30 or $40.
Yeah, $30 to $50. Yeah, but it's got holes here. So there's 1, 2, and then 3, 4 holes here, and you're supposed to keep your skeins inside and pull through. So it's zipped up, and you pull through, and then it stays in there, and then you don't have to worry about it rolling all over creation and getting tangled up. The problem that I have is, one, I treat my yarn bag like I treat my purses, and I just continue to put things in there and never take anything out. So there is actually not enough space in my yarn bag for my yarn to roll around in the bag. I actually just cleaned my yarn bag yesterday, so there is more space now. But my yarn bag is also like a storage container for when I go places. So like when I go to work and I want to crochet at work and I'm like not super positive on what project I want to be working on, I'll bring like 3 skeins of yarn, and then there's not really space for the yarn to kind of like roll around in the bag. But that's just a user error on my part, honestly. If I used it the way it was supposed to be used and just kept a single skein and one project in there at a time, then it would absolutely work. But you know what else would work? If they caked up the yarn for me.
Okay, so we have fiddle-faddled enough. Let's move on to some gaming thoughts.
Oh, we're skipping straight to gaming thoughts.
Because I want to get these out of the way.
Yeah, you're right.
Which, first off, today is Wildflower Update Day. So why am I sitting here talking to you?
I love you too.
But no, this is the segment called Game Updates that I'm probably not going to play, but I'm so excited about them, which is number 1, Wildflowers, which I seem to be the last one to find out these things, even though I follow Studio Dry Dock on TikTok, and they've been apparently releasing little hinty things. It's not been coming up on my TikTok, so I didn't find out till like 2 days ago that they were going to drop an update today, which was in Australia time. So I figured out, since they're in Australia, I probably could have got the update yesterday, but I didn't. But the update for Wildflowers is they're adding a new romantable character. Ooh. And this character is opening a new shop, a hair salon. So Tara, the character that you as the player play,
can get your hair done,
can get her hair did. So
didn't they say?
Thanks, Ronald. Thanks for hanging with us. We appreciate it. See you on Sunday for your stream, iHeartBoard Games on YouTube, Sundays.
Go watch them.
PM, 8
They're
PM.
hilarious.
Yes, they are hilarious.
Didn't they say years ago when you finished playing Wildflowers the first time that they weren't going to do any updates?
Yeah, that was the original thing that the designers said, but then the fans kept clamoring for more updates. And I am of a mixed mind about this, because I was perfectly happy not to have to update. A lot of people complained because they're used to playing other kinds of farming sims or life sims. So the first thing people complained about was not being able to update Tara. They wanted to change her name. They wanted to change her skin color. They basically wanted to create their own person.
But this isn't a you in the game. This is Tara's life.
Exactly. So I was perfectly fine with not changing her. My only complaint that I had as far as customization is that I wanted her to be able to change into pajamas before bed. You don't even have to change clothes. She could have had the same outfit the whole time. I'm glad that they added outfits. I changed outfits just for the heck of it. But I just wanted her to be able to put pajamas on before she went to bed and take her shoes off. I mean, as an added bonus, it would be nice if they had her pull that blanket because you have to send her to bed every night. This is one of those games where if you don't go to bed by midnight, then there's a penalty the next day as far as your energy level and how much you can get done. Mm-hmm. One of the very few penalties in this game because it's like unlimited inventory and stuff like that. But the one of the few penalties is if you don't go to bed and you fall out, then the next day your energy bar is like cut in half.
Yeah.
And you can't
do all the stuff you're supposed to do.
You can't restore it to full. And it's not even a lot of things that use energy in that game. Because most of like your normal running around and farming doesn't really use energy. It's only like when you go into the mine and stuff and have to really bang away at stuff that you use up energy. But still, you want your full energy bar. And you have to pay somebody. You have to go to the doctor and pay for medicine to get your energy bar back, or else it will stay cut in half for days. Mm-hmm. So that's really the only penalty. So you have to send her to bed. So if you have to send her to bed every night, could you not? Because they already have a really cute animation for like when she goes to the bar or whatever and goes to sit down in the booth. She sits down and then she scooches over. And I mean, it's very realistic and everything. Could you not have put in an animation where she pulls the blanket back and gets under the blanket to go to bed?
Does she lay on top of the blanket?
She lays like on top of the blanket in her boots and leather jacket to go to
like
bed.
we do in Lego Fortnite.
It's like, it's so that was the only thing that I really was hoping that they would change. I didn't care about anything else, but they've added. This is like the fourth update. The update they dropped today is the fourth update they've dropped. They've added. They've added clothing. They've added you can take pictures of Tara in various places. They've added the animals and a few other festivals to it. So I appreciated the few extra festivals they added. That added a little bit of extra story. So I played those, and I made some of the rainbow animals. Although I don't really care about animals, but I made the animals pregnant and made them into magical rainbow animals or whatever. So I did that. And I will probably go in today just long enough to see who the new character is, but I probably won't play all the way through. But I did see on their website when I was looking, because I look every once in a while at Studio Dry Dock's website to see if they're working on the new game. And there's no other game listed, but they do have under their job section, they're looking for an art director for a new game. It says in the job description that they're looking for an art director to work on a new game they are developing. So
they've got something in the works, just not enough to announce.
They got something in the works because I feel like since I've already played through the story of this game, I don't really feel like going back and doing more stuff. Whereas everybody else, I'm in the minority there. Other people want to continue playing in the world, even though there's no story left.
Honestly, I haven't played it yet. I'm now thinking, what if I just wait till they do all the updates and then I'll just play it all? I'll just play it all at once.
And that's one thing that I'm curious about is for somebody like you who has never played it, where are these updates going to come in? Like this hairdresser that they're bringing in. Is this hairdresser not going to come in until after you finish the story? Since I'm not getting it till where does that work for people who are new in the game?
Yeah,
is what I'm wondering. Is she just going to be a character who was always there? How is that going to work for some?
I've been there the whole time.
Really? How's that going to work for somebody like me who's finished the story? I mean, I know there were some of the updates that they did. They said if you have never played the game, you won't see this festival until after you have finished a whole 4 seasons. So I'm wondering if they're going to do the same thing with this new character coming in, if she's not going to come in until after the storyline is over.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll figure out when I pull it up. But yeah, some of these other things, like, again, like with the animals, or being able to change clothes and stuff like that, that stuff doesn't matter to me. It's nice for somebody like you who hasn't played yet. I'm glad that you'll get to have all that stuff from the start, but it's not enough to make me go back and play the game.
Replay the whole game,
yeah. Because I don't want to replay the storyline. I've already replayed the storyline, because I've already played the storyline twice.
Mm-hmm.
Because after they did, I think, the second update, I just went ahead and started a fresh game and did it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, I was like, no, I'm not starting all over again. I might have to divorce my spouse to romance some other people, but I'm not starting the story part all over again.
Honey, it's been real, but there's a new hairdresser in town. Let's be honest.
Because I'm just curious what the different dialogue options are and stuff for if you romance different people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just remembering now that the first woman I romanced in my first game, I didn't even marry her. I got as far as being engaged to her, and I thought I was done with her. I realized I didn't have a wedding with her.
Oh, you left her, you engaged her, and then left? Shame.
And then I started the game all over, and then I played the character that's voiced by Erica Ishii,
mm-hmm.
The non-binary character, and I married them. So
at least they got a wedding. That poor other girl didn't even get a wedding.
But yeah, so I'm just throwing it out there. Not that we are the tops for gaming news, but I'm just throwing it out there that just to get, because I still haven't gotten any of my friends to play this game. So
I will eventually. I have decided now. I want to wait till all of the updates and then just play it all.
But who knows when all the updates are going to be done? Because people keep clamoring about, oh, we want this and oh, we want that. And I imagine
that once whatever this new game that they're trying to work on comes out, I imagine they're going to cut the updates for the other game.
Probably, hopefully. I hope that trying to provide stuff for Wildflower is not
hindering their process.
Yeah. I hope they're not taking time away from this new game to add stuff to Wildflowers, because I don't think you need to keep adding stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was already a good game. I don't think you really need to keep adding stuff.
Yeah, these people need to just wait for them to make the other game instead of just forcing them to make more stuff for this one game.
Because I'm hoping that they come out with another game. With some of these same, it doesn't need to be another farming sim, but I'm hoping that it's a game that has some of the similar things, like fully voice acting, or a similar art style, or something like that. Or even if it's like a sequel to this game, like there's a whole town, there's a whole big city that you have to get to with the ferry. If they set something in the big city, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Also, in gaming news of game updates that I'm probably not going to play, Palia has their Luna Festival going on. Luna New.
I need to play that game. I downloaded that game because it was like free or on sale or something. I downloaded that game and have it on my Switch.
It's a fully free game.
I have it on my Switch. I just haven't played it yet.
I have it on my Switch as well. I tried to download it last night on this new computer, and the download failed, and I'm like, you know what, I'm done. Not
worth
only
it.
did the download fail, but nothing else I couldn't do any other work on this computer while it was trying to download.
Ooh.
Like I was trying to play games on Board Game Arena, and the Board Game Arena pages would not load while it was trying to download Palia. I'm like, no, that's okay. Even though this hard drive has plenty of room on it, I can play other stuff on here because
don't need it.
Fortnite won't work on this computer either. I thought, I thought since there's because I've got the 1 terabyte hard drive, I figured, okay, I've got room enough to do Fortnite on here because Fortnite works on the other computer I had. But I didn't have enough hard drive room, so I had to delete everything practically
to be able to play it. Yeah,
to be able to play Fortnite on that computer. But at least it worked on that computer. On this, it doesn't work on this computer at all. But it works on if I play it on Switch.
Yeah, that's where I play it, is on the Switch.
When we play the Fortnite Festival, it works perfectly on Switch. So I will just stick to playing it on Switch. And Palia is the same way. Palia works perfectly fine on the Switch. So I should probably just stick to playing it on the Switch instead of trying to install it on here. Because goodness knows I have plenty of games that I can play on here. Yeah. I have my whole Steam library. Not that I have a lot of games in my Steam library, but I have a lot of games on my wish list that I haven't bought yet. You know, and there's News Tower is coming out February 13th. Oh, before I get there though. Palia, the Palia Festival. You're supposed to be able to get these different takeout foods and display them in your house or whatever. I don't know. I barely looked at the update when I saw them talking about it, because again, I didn't find out about the update till yesterday. And it's already been going. I mean, yesterday was the first day of the update, and I found out about it yesterday as I was on YouTube. So it's not like I know that much about it, but
while we're talking about game updates, didn't you say that Cult of the Lamb had an update that I still haven't played yet? But Cult of the Lamb
yes, Cult of the Lamb has an update. I don't know if it's a paid DLC or if it's free. I haven't been able to ascertain that, but apparently your cult members can have babies now. It's something called Sin of the Life or Sin of the Flesh or Sin of the something. So I don't know.
Check it out.
You don't mind paying for updates, unlike me. So you're,
as long as they're small. I'm not about to pay another $15 or something.
Yeah, exactly. What else was I going to say? I have been playing an Arcade Full of Cats, which is
another cat finding game.
Yes, it's another cat finding game. It's the base game of it is free, but then there's different, because it's a game where these two cats come and tell you that they were trying to fix some stuff in space and time, but then some of the other cat agents who were supposed to help with that enjoyed being in those times too much, and so you have to go and get them back.
Okay, cute.
To come back. And so like there's an 80s arcade that you can go into, and then there's a 90s arcade you can go into. So I've done a couple of those. And then I think there's different rooms that you can add on to that. But those you have to pay for. But again, these games are always like $1.99 or something like that. So it's not like it's super expensive to play these games, to add the DLC to these games. But and like this arcade, like you go into the main thing and you see arcade machines, and then you can go into the specific arcade machine.
Ooh, okay.
And find different things. Like there's one called that looks like Paperboy, but it's called Purper Boy, I think, or something.
Purple
And you have to
Boy.
go find all the newspapers.
Oh, that's
And-
fun. Yeah, that sounds fun.
But yeah, the base game of it is free. So you can play a good bit of it before you decide to
pay for
add to it.
Yeah.
To add to it, yeah.
That makes me think of another game that I was playing for a while, called Arcade Paradise, which is super fun. I have it on Xbox, I want to say. Actually, no, I've got it on the Switch because I paid for it on the Switch. That's what made me mad. I paid for it on the Switch, and then months later, they put it on Xbox Game Pass.
Please don't talk to me about how many games that has happened to recently. Because Storyteller, which I didn't even pay for, y'all paid for that, and I'm mad on your behalf
that was on Netflix.
That is free through our Netflix subscription when you paid money to buy me that game.
Bruh, for real. It makes me never want to buy a game again because they'll all show up somewhere.
Exactly.
It's so irritating. But Arcade Paradise is super fun. Oh, I wonder if I can bring it up. I also have Steam things. Let's see. Let's slide you over.
I kept meaning to ask you, have you tried Steam on your new computer? Is it working well for you?
I haven't. So I've added things to my Steam wish list, but I haven't played any Steam games. But what I have played, which is in the list actually, is remember when we paid for the Ukraine game bundle?
Ukraine bundle, yes. I went through the Ukraine bundle the other day, but go ahead.
I downloaded a couple of games from that and played some of those games. What am I looking for? Is that what I'm looking for? But I played some of those games and they're running absolutely smoothly. So the games from the Ukraine bundle are working out for me really well. So I imagine that Steam will work out fine as well.
Good.
What am I? Yeah, I played the two games that I played are actually, let me minimize my screen so I can see them because they're on my desktop. So I played Minute Racer, which is just this cute little, where is your tab? There you are. I played Minute Racer, which is just this cute little game where you're on a scooter and you're racing across the screen and you're just trying to go for as long as you can. And every time that you go, then you collect coins, and then the coins can help you buy upgrades that'll help you go further. So you can buy a helmet so you can crash one time before you crashing in the game. You can buy an upgrade that every coin that you pick up adds a couple seconds to your time, because it starts off, it's called Minute Racer because it starts off and you have exactly a minute, you have exactly 60 seconds to get across the screen, and then you can get things that increase your time, things that speed you up, yada yada. So that one's fun. And then the other one that I was playing is called Spookware, which is like a WarioWare kind of vibe, but you're playing as these three skeleton brothers who I don't know, were hanging out in their basement for millennia, and then all of a sudden decided that they needed to go to high school, and so they go to a high school, and they're like, "Yep, it's our senior year. We're definitely going to graduate, even though we haven't been here the whole time." And it's just goofy antics. But you go through, and it's got Spookware,
and that was in the Ukraine bundle.
Mm-hmm.
I must have missed that one. Or you make it sound more appealing than it looked because I went through almost that entire bundle. I went through almost that entire bundle, and it's nah, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. This isn't for me. There's a lot of them that I rejected solely on their art style and the thumbnail. I'm nah, this isn't for me.
Well, I only knew about Spookware because Okay, so I just got a little connection unstable notification. I don't know if that's because I was trying to bring up Steam or what. Can you hear me okay though?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, you were breaking up for a minute, but okay, so maybe let me try to open up Steam again. Is it Steam, or is it just because I had the Arcade Paradise thing pulled up? So let me try pulling that up again.
If you open up the Steam page in your browser, that will work better on this stream than if you try to open up actual Steam.
Well, that's what I did. But then as soon as I brought up the Arcade Paradise thing, then you started glitching out. So I don't know if it was just because it was trying to load all the pictures and stuff. Okay, so I opened it up. Are we still here? Are we still clear? I think we are. Here. Okay. So let me present that page because Arcade Paradise is actually very fun. But while I'm pulling that up, the only reason that I know about Spookware is because I watched Jacob and Julia from Drawfee. Their stream on Twitch is Secret Sleepover Society, and they also bought the arcade bundle, and they just did a stream where they played like various games from the arcade bundle, or from the Ukraine bundle.
Well, I'm sorry.
And that game looked really fun, so I was like, let me go in and see if that's in the bundle that I got.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
But this
stream.
is arcade.
I said, I'm sorry I missed that stream. I should check and see if it's still on demand so maybe I can watch some of it. Because like I said, I reject a lot of games instantly.
Well, all of their VODs are on all their VODs are on YouTube as well, because they have a YouTube channel specifically for their VODs, so you can watch it there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Steam is just fully breaking the stream, but so you can see kind of the bits. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out because it is fully breaking the stream for me.
Arcade Paradise.
But basically, what the game is.
That wasn't in the Ukraine bundle, though.
No, that wasn't in the Ukraine bundle. That's the one that I have on Switch. That it made me Arcade of Cats made me think of Arcade Paradise, but it's the one that I have on Switch that they added to the Game Pass. But it's basically you're this kid who just got out of high school, I want to say, and your dad owns a laundromat, and so your dad is making you run he's got like a series of laundromats, and so he's making you run the like shitty ones so that you can have like a sense of accomplishment and learn. We may have talked about it before, but he's like making you run laundromats.
I think somebody else. I think like Canzalone is a YouTuber that I watch, and I think he might have played something like this.
Possibly. I've only seen like very few people play it, which is surprising because it's a very fun game. Essentially, you're running this laundromat because your dad is like, you need to have a sense of business and money and what life is and whatever. And you're like, I don't wanna. But your sister before you, your dad did this to your sister before you, also made her run the laundromat. And when she was running the laundromat in the back room, she put a couple arcade cabinets. And then
this sounds so very familiar. I think Canzalone played this.
Possibly. She put in a few arcade cabinets. And so when you start running the laundromat, you realize the arcade cabinets are making so much more money than the laundromat, which it is a full service laundromat. If I could go to a laundromat and just give them my basket of clothes and pay for it and they can wash my clothes, I would absolutely every time. But anyway.
That reminds me, sidebar. That reminds me when I was a kid. You're on the wrong side.
My screen's usually on the other side.
I know. When I was a kid, they used to come and pick up our laundry and wash our clothes and bring it back. We had a laundry service this was when I was a little.
Where they do that at?
When we lived in New York.
Oh, in New York.
Because we lived in an apartment and there was no washer dryer in the apartment building or anything. So and it wasn't like apartments that you have down here where you have washer dryer connections in your apartment. It's not like that in apartments in New York because these are old buildings from 100 years ago.
So was this a service provided by the apartment people or was this?
No, I think my parents paid for them to come and pick up the laundry. I distinctly remember them picking up laundry.
Can we please get Uber laundry? How do we do that here?
Uber laundry. You're so silly.
Please. We'll call it Uber detergent. But anyway, So your character finds out, oh, the arcade makes so much more money than the laundromat, but then you try to tell your dad's like, you just want to be playing games. And so you and your sister cook up a plan that you are just going to continue to expand the arcade without your dad knowing.
In secret.
Yeah, in secret, and then you'll give him the numbers later and be like, hey, yo, this is where the money's coming from. But the thing that I like about the game is, yeah, you first of all, you have to go around and do all the laundry. You have to go and and it's like a management game of that. But all the arcade games,
I love management games.
Yes, so you have to manage and make sure that you're getting all the laundry done and getting the money for that. But all the arcade games, you can play them. They're all playable games.
Oh,
there's like a Pac-Man knockoff, and like you can play like air hockey, and they're all like, there's like a racing game. There's all playable games, which is hilarious to me. You can even on the computer in the back room in the office, you can play Spider Solitaire. It is amazing. But yeah, that is that game.
What did you say you played? Oh, you already told me the 2 games you played on the Ukraine bundle.
Yeah, it was Minute Racer and Spookware. And I will try to remember to put that link for the Secret Sleepover Society as well in the thing, so you can see the games that they were playing on the Ukraine bundle. Because I think both of those were ones that they played.
Cool. So, did you see anything else in the Ukraine bundle that you were interested in? I saw that there were a lot of visual novels.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of
TTRPGs.
Yeah, a lot of D&D looking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did download another one. I haven't played it yet, but there was another one that like struck my fancy. Endling Extinction, where you're playing as like Mama Fox helping her baby foxes get to a safe space or something.
I think I saw that too.
It looked like it was just going to be really pretty, which is why I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet, but it looks like it's going to be really pretty.
But I ignored. It's like, I like to think I'm not a picky person, but now I'm realizing as I get older that I do have particular tastes in certain things. And when it comes to games, I'm not going to play platformers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily going to play visual novels because I start to get bored. I don't know why, because I like to read books. So why visual novels make me bored, I do not understand.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I like visual novels. I keep
trying them. I keep trying them, and then I get bored halfway through, and then I stop. But I like the idea of them. But
I think my problem with visual novels, which I was able to do this for Coffee Talk, I just want the visual novel to go. I don't want to have to click a button every time. I want to be able to just kind of sit and read it, and then I pick up my controller or my mouse or whatever. When there's like in Coffee Talk, you have to make coffee, so I don't want to have to pick up my controller until you need me to make coffee or until you need me to make a choice and say something to somebody. Like until then, I just want
maybe that's part of it. Maybe I just get tired of going click, click, click,
because it's not the same aesthetic.
Because even when I read books on my tablet, or even when I read digital, ebooks, which is the 99% of the books I read these days are ebooks. I almost prefer to read them on my computer screen or my tablet because I get more words before I have to click. Because if I read on my phone, do you know how many times you see the size of my phone?
Oh, I know. I read web comics on my phone. When I'm reading, I'm like this.
Especially since I have to have the font big enough that I'm not having eye strain. I have to have the large print font. So, because if I could have it as a normal size, then I could probably get a lot of words on this phone. But then the
font size labels are small, medium, large, woman of a certain age.
Exactly. So I have it set for woman of a certain age, and that means. But I've seen people. I was watching a video one day, and somebody was reading. And they showed their Kindle sitting up, And she had those words so big that I think she only fit 10 words on the screen. She had them. I was like, oh my
Get a tablet.
God. I thought mine were big.
Get a magnifying glass. Get a.
But
she just needs a projector on her wall.
But yeah, I'm going to make more of it. That's one of the things, one of my intentions for 2024 is that, and I know I said it in 2023, but I'm really aiming for it in 2024, is to try to play more of these games that I already have. I feel like I need to make some sort of schedule. But every time I say I'm going to make a schedule, then it's like, well, that's not what I feel like doing. Mm-hmm. Like I make a schedule to work on this hat, and then all I really want to do is color. So I'm going to go with the flow of what I feel like doing. But at the same time, I'm really going to make more of an effort because there are plenty of days that, like when I get off work today, it's going to take all my willpower, because after I get done talking to you, I'm going to work for a while, and I try to stop working around 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll end up getting myself some dinner, and then I'll end up sitting in my bedroom just going, which leads into my other thing, because in addition to trying to play my games instead of just sitting in front of my because I'll get off work and I'll sit in front of my computer and I'll play my BGA turns.
Mm-hmm.
And which is fine. I don't want to stop playing BGA. I'll play my BGA turns, but then I don't do anything after that. I'll just sit there. And then I'll watch YouTube, which is the other thing. I watch too much YouTube to the point, at first it was like, oh, all my people have updates on things. But now it's to the point where I've watched everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm trying to seek out other people to watch. And it's like, no, you have queues on Netflix. Okay, everybody knows our round robin system of we're each paying for a service.
Of our services, yeah.
And we're all sharing with each other. So all these services are being paid for, but I've got queues on Peacock, Hulu, Tubi, Netflix. I've got queues on all 4 of those. And I'm not watching any of them.
Yeah,
I sit on YouTube every night and just watch random-ish on YouTube for no reason when I have things that I could be watching. And so I decided last weekend, one of my intentions is to get back into
watching your shows.
Watching stuff. I think a big part of it is that and part of that was I went and started clearing out my Netflix queue.
Mm-hmm.
Saturdays used to be my day that instead of watching YouTube, I would watch Netflix. And I gave that up for a few months. And I started last Saturday getting back to it. And the first thing I did was going through my Netflix queue and being really serious with myself about, am I really going to watch this?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I'll go through Netflix and they'll show me things that are coming up and it'll be like, oh, that trailer sounds interesting. And so I will add it to my queue. But I have no intention of watching that. Like right now, I'm not watching movies. I'm just not. I don't know why, but I can't make myself invest in an hour and a half or 2-hour movie, even though I will sit and watch 10 episodes of a TV show.
I was just having this conversation with my friend at work, and I think because he is not a movie person either. Well, I said, because he's like, oh yeah, well, I haven't been watching I don't watch very many movies. I'm like, oh yeah, you're not a movie person. He's like, well, it's not that I'm not a movie person. And I'm like, no, you're the kind of person who likes movies, but usually doesn't want to sit through the length of a 2-hour movie because that's a long time to wait for a resolution. You would rather watch a 30-minute something so you can get your resolution quickly and then get another plot for another episode. But you would do that for 4 hours. And he's like, yes, that is the kind of person I am. I think that it's a long, movies are just a long commitment, whereas when you watch TV shows, you've got 30 minutes, and then if something were to come up, if you've got to go somewhere, if you've got to do something, you can get up without feeling like you're interrupting something.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in a movie, you've got that, like, movies aren't even really 2 hours anymore. They're like an hour 40 minutes. They're like an episode of Doctor Who. But you, with a movie,
some people, because there's been a lot of discourse on this recently, there are some people, directors or whatever, who are going crazy. It's like, oh,
are they going back to the 2-hour movie?
We've got streaming services. Movies always used to be 90 minutes, a hard hour and a half. And then somewhere in the last 10 years, since we have streaming services, directors and producers have decided, oh, we've got time to just like spread out. And now we've got a 2.5 hour movie. And it's like, who's watching a 2.5 hour movie?
Yeah, it's just a long, like, unless you are hanging out with friends and like it is your movie night, you're specifically doing that. That's a long commitment for people who have to pick up kids, who have to do work, who have to that is a long commitment, as opposed to I can sit down and watch Criminal Minds. And if I get through 2 hours of Criminal Minds, awesome. But if I have to stop after 30 minutes of Criminal Minds, I'm not butthurt because I've reached the conclusion of that storyline for that episode.
But also for me, I agree with you there, but also for me, there is the added thing of sometimes I'm in the mood for watching something of a certain style or spending time with these certain people. And if the movie is an hour and a half or even 2 hours, then I'm done with those people. Now I've got to meet, because somebody did a TikTok on this. One of the TikTokers I follow did a TikTok on this. Now I've got to meet new people.
I don't know you. I don't know your life. And what if I don't like you?
And then get used to them for 2 hours. And then, okay, now I've started to like you, but now our 2 hours is done. And I don't get to spend any more time with you unless I start the movie over again.
Yeah, I definitely understand that.
I don't get to spend new time with you. Whereas if it's a TV show, I get to spend a bunch of time with these people that I've determined that I like to spend time with. Or not just spending time with, but like the style.
Yeah.
Although the style thing I think is more in books for me, because like, me, I'm very particular about what kind of time travel books I read. It has to be a very specific kind of setup, and not many people write that setup. And so I end up going back and rereading the series that I enjoy because nobody else is writing that setup, which is frustrating to me. Because I never really was much of a rereader, but sometimes I get in the mood for that time travel that is set in the Regency era in England, but the people are not sad.
Yeah. They're not pitiful, woe is my miserable life.
Yeah, because all the time travel books seem to be about, the female who gets thrown back in time. That's fine. I always prefer the female get thrown back in time rather than the male get thrown back in time. The female gets thrown back in time, but in the series that I enjoy, she already has a life, and she likes her life, and she's happy, and she's got family and stuff like that.
So it's not she's trying to escape this miserable life to go back.
She's not trying to escape. It's not like her parents are all dead and she has no siblings and her life is pitiful. So she's trying to escape it. No, she was just duping along one day, and then all of a sudden got thrown back to 1810. But she has skills and things like that she can put to use. And then she comes back to her time. And then she can go back and forth to her time. See, this is a setup that I enjoy that most time travel novels do not employ. And so, if I come across a setup in a TV show that I enjoy, not a lot of people are doing that setup. I think that's why people would rewatch Firefly over and over, because that's a specific setup that nobody's doing. And you can't get enough of it.
And it ended so soon.
I know. So I'm clearing out my Netflix queue. I'm getting rid of the movies. The other problem is that I got to a period where I was adding things to all of my different queues that were things I would enjoy watching with you, or watching with Chloe, or watching with your father, and trying to find a time where we're all sitting down together where we can watch these things is difficult.
Yeah.
Especially with the things that I like to watch with you are the same things that I like to watch with Chloe. Like,
so
we
trying to find time for all three of us.
To be together to watch it. And I finally said to myself, okay, I can watch this thing. And then if it comes to time where we are all together and we want to watch something, I don't mind watching it again. I used to be a person who did not rewatch things, so I would hold on to it because I didn't want to rewatch it. But I was like, you know what? It's okay to watch it again if I'm watching it with you guys, because then I can make silly comments and stuff like that. So I'm giving myself permission to rewatch this stuff. To watch this stuff and just rewatch it if I watch it with you.
I am that same way with games, and I didn't realize until pretty recently, but I have been mentally categorizing games and like, oh, I can't play this because this is the kind of game I would want to play on a stream. Oh, I can't play this because this is the kind of game I want to play with mommy. Oh, I can't play this because this is the kind of game I want to play with Wayne.
I'm doing the same thing.
Have all of these games that I am not playing, and I'm like, why don't I just pick a game and play a game that I want to play? Like, why don't I just play the game? And they will continue to make more games. It's not a dying industry. I will figure it out.
It's the same thing with me. I've still got Backbone sitting there because I keep thinking that we're going to play it together.
I do want to play that together. We should do that on Friday because I am very committed to wanting to do a Friday stream. And I feel like...
At what time?
Same time, just 10 a.m.
10 a.m. on Friday? You going to try to get me up in the morning on 2 days a week?
But didn't you just say, oh, I get up and like 2 hours before and I'm like, this is miserable and I want to go back to bed. But then as soon as we start streaming, I'm so happy and I'm so glad that I did it.
Oh,
that's you. That's what you sound like. Chloe, run it back. Chloe, run it back.
Shut up. All right. I guess it would benefit me to get up that early because I do have things that I need to do for work that even though technically I can work whenever, in reality, a lot of the things I need to do need to be done during normal work hours. And since it's hard for me to get up and start working at 8 a.m., at the very least, if we did a thing at 10 a.m., then I would still be sitting here at the computer at 12 to actually do some work. So
I feel like for a video game stream, 2 hours is plenty long enough. And if that's all that we do, like if we don't have any like life update and all that stuff, then we just play the video game for 2 hours. I feel like that would be fine.
Yep. But also, I wanted to mention that I started watching this thing I had put this on my list before about how much I enjoy a fake cocktail party TV show. Do you know what I mean by that?
No, please explain.
Okay, that's off and on throughout my years watching TV, there have been some shows that have been created. They don't usually stick around long, but it's one of those shows where they pretend like, like they're in a living room set. And it's like, oh, look who came by to visit. And then you have all these famous people who come in, and then they'll talk about stuff. Either they'll talk about their latest project or whatever, but they do it in a way that is supposed to be this fake casual of, oh, Khloe Kardashian did one that only lasted for a season. And there was one in the 60s, which I'm going to try to pull up.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a show like this in my entire life.
That was
I cannot even picture anything.
A Playboy Channel show. Not Playboy Channel, but I mean, and I say Playboy and you think, ooh.
I do think ooh.
But it's not like that. Let me see if I have it saved. Let's see. But it's just
currently about half as long as me.
Okay, let's see if I can find it. Because it used to be up on YouTube because I've watched all of them. Oh, come on.
Yeah, because
I'm trying to find a good one.
So is it like an interview? Like, is there a host and they're kind of interviewing them?
It's like there's a host, but they try to make it not be all interviewing, if that makes sense.
Okay.
They try to make it be just like casual.
You keep saying casual, but then you also say words like celebrity, and they really just don't seem to run together.
I'm trying to find one because I like the black and white ones better than when they went into the 70s. And I don't think the black and white ones are up much anymore. Let's see.
Also, if you look up a black and white one, I'm not going to know who any of these people are.
Well, you don't really have to know who they are.
Well, while you're looking that up, I just want to say I really enjoy the addition of the background music, just the chill little background music going on. And I am honestly a little upset that you didn't do this before.
I didn't think about it. And usually I try to share stuff during the stream. So it's like,
yeah, with both of us here, it'll be really easy to like pause the background music and edit things. Okay, don't start anything yet. Let me pause this. Okay. So go ahead. What is this? I feel like I need a cigarette in one of those really long cigarette holders.
Mm-hmm. But there is I just like something like this, even though it's scripted for the most part. I don't think this one is as scripted, but there is always some sort of carefree aspect to it that, I mean, not like I expected. I just like the relaxed nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like seeing people talk in like a round table kind of aspect. That's why I like the Graham Norton show, because I like seeing people talk in a round table kind of aspect as opposed to
like professional interviews.
I'm Hugh Hefner, your host. I don't know if you recognize me. We're having a little fun here.
That mustache is wild.
I'm not sure whether behind the foliage you're going to recognize some of our other friends, but this is Buddy Rich. Hi there. And back behind the piano, James Cotton.
Are we just all wearing fake mustaches today? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
That's right.
What is with the mustache?
Well, it's a new thing, fake mustaches, and I think it adds a certain touch of sophistication.
I think so. It looks very good. Oh, here's your drink, Kev.
Well, thank you, Ralph.
As if she wasn't just waiting off
Really
camera,
worked for
waiting to
everybody.
give him that drink.
Uh-huh.
I think we should get Tommy to try one. Try that mustache, Tommy?
But see the casualness of it, and then they're going to play some music, and then they'll sit on the couch and they'll talk a little bit.
Beautiful. That's not quite it.
Yeah, it feels like
A little on the side.
Oh, no, that is.
it feels like the kind of vibe sometimes when YouTubers do their like spend the day with me vlogs,
Let's try this.
Yeah.
but like there just happen to be famous people.
Because
Because those vlogs also are like, you know, the things that they do are a little bit scripted, but it feels kind of cash.
Now the question is, will you play
Exactly.
now that you've got the mustache?
I don't know. I'll try a waltz and see how it comes out.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna cut this out before we get in trouble for just sitting here watching a YouTube video.
But I just like the casualness of it. And like I said, there's been different shows like that over the years. That one was from 1970, but there's been different shows like that over the years. There's currently a show. So I had put this on the list, and then I just discovered this week that Netflix, which is trying for some reason to get into live television, they're going to start adding live sports. And they've had some live events over the past 6 months or so.
Wasn't there something that just happened where there was supposed to be like a live event on a streaming service and then everybody got on to watch it and it freaking crashed?
Yeah, that was YouTube.
Oh, okay.
That was YouTube.
Okay.
And they've done the golfing thing, and they for some reason they're trying to get into live. I don't know why, but right now they're doing a thing called Dinner Time Live with David Chang, and I just discovered it this week, and I watched it. Yes, I watched one that was recorded, and then I watched it live last night because it comes on Tuesday nights. Mm-hmm. I watched it live last night, and it's like it's like David Chang is a celebrity chef, and they have two people, famous people. Like yesterday was two comedians. One of them is one of my favorite comedians, Eliza Schlesinger. And they're just sitting at the table, and he's got a theme for what he's going to cook, and he's just cooking different things, and they're talking, and they totally go off the rails. It's like they try to have a framework, kind of like us, where we try to have a framework, and then we go totally off in left field. Like they had these little question cards that they were supposed to be asking each other questions and stuff, and that went right out the window because they were just talking about different stuff. And there's a guy in the corner who keeps them on time. It's like, you got to hard out in 10 minutes. Okay. So you really need to go. You got to hard out in 10 minutes. Ronald, what are you doing back here? But
is Ronald back?
Yes, we stay off the rails. But that's what Dinner Time Live with the episodes, like I said, they go live, but the episodes are still up there on Netflix if you want to watch. And it's like, there's like no intro. There's no intro. I don't remember there being any intro music. There's no outro music. It's like when it goes live, he just starts talking. This is what we're cooking. I forgot the pan I was supposed to have. The one guy said that he wanted such and such. And then later in the episode, somebody brought it to him and he said, I thought this wasn't on the menu. And they were like, oh no, we ran down the street. I mean, it's just off the rails.
That's hilarious.
But
yeah, I'll go check that out. That sounds funny.
It's in a fun way of just watching people casually talking to each other.
Yeah.
Last night's episode was a little bit with Eliza Schlesinger and Paul Scheer was a little bit better than the first episode, but the first episode was good too. With Rashida Jones and whatever that other Asian actor guy is that I can't remember his name. But yeah, I have my alarm set to watch that live when it comes on because it's just, I just like watching. There's two things. I like watching people just sit around talking. And David Chang happens to have another show, which I'm going to check out, which is on Hulu, which is also called Dinner Something. Dinner with Friends or Dinner Something. And this one's on Hulu, and he's doing it with Chrissy Teigen.
Oh, I like Chrissy Teigen.
And I think this one's, I know a lot of people are talking junk about her lately, but I try not to listen because she's said some things that have been kind of out of pocket, but I like Chrissy Teigen, so I try to ignore it. Because the few things that the things that she has said, I can't even remember what they were. They were so inconsequential to me.
Yeah.
It's not like she said big.
It's not like she's. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like she's out here saying just real big, controversial, homophobic nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've just ignored it. But she, so they're doing another show together. It pretty much, Ronald. They're doing another show together, and it's the same kind of thing. The fake, cocktail party. They're all sitting at a table in a restaurant, and people bring them food. There was another AMC like that years ago, where it's just people sitting at a round table and people bring them food. And it's just, and they talk a little bit about the food. The Hollywood Reporter does shows like that where all the actors sit around the table and talk. And I enjoy that one, but there's something about there being food and drinks in the mix that makes it feel more
like just a friend gathering.
Yeah. Just makes it feel like a friend gathering. It just feels more casual than just when Hollywood Report. Although I like the Hollywood Reporter ones, those are interesting, but it's very directed. They're not getting off the rails. They've got a reporter who's doing all the interviews, and all the actors are sitting around the table answering the questions and stuff. It's not. Yeah. It's not like, this David Chang thing where they're just talking and laughing and, ooh, this food tastes good and blah, 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 blah.
Okay. So, yeah, I might check out the David Chang thing because that sounds funny.
I don't know why I like that kind of show, but I just do. I know it's 1:00, so you need to take your man to work, don't you?
I gotta go. The last thing I want to say is I actually got my ish together yesterday and applied to all of my markets for the season.
Yay!
So we are waiting to hear back from one market I know I'm going to get in because it's the Mars Hill market. The Faye Nectar I'm already in.
I thought you were going to stop doing the Mars Hill market.
I wanted to just continue doing the off weeks like I've been doing because I don't want to completely cut off a market. But they came to me and said, because they lost their market manager. Their market manager is leaving. And so they need someone. They don't have the money to pay someone for the full market manager position, but they would like for me to run the market bucks section of it, where when people have their food stamp card and they can come and get like market bucks to be able to spend on like fresh veggies and stuff. And then when people, like if somebody doesn't have a card reader, they can come swipe their card at the market table to spend with the vendors. So they want me to run that portion of it. So I am going to a meeting next Friday or the Friday after. I'm going to a market meeting with them so that we can figure out, because I'm not going to be there full time because Saturday is also Faye Nectar. So I'm not going to be there the entire market. I am willing to try it on the weeks that I'm not there. They said that they would be able to pay me around $50 to $52 a week to run that. And they said that if we can work out the logistics, I could also vend my items. So that would be, because I would have to like cut out early to be able to collect the market bucks from people. And that $50 would make up for me stopping vending my stuff early and all that stuff. So I am going to.
Are you still going to have to pay for a table?
I don't think so. That's another thing that I need to sort out, because I don't want half of that $50 to go to the $20 for my table. So we'll have to, that's another thing I'm going to sort out at the meeting. But so Mars Hill Market I applied to, which I know I'm going to get in. I just have to figure out this market manager stuff. Faye Nectar I'm already in, so I didn't have to apply to, but I also applied to the East Asheville Market, which is on Fate Depot. But I also applied to the East Asheville Market, which is on Fridays and is the one that is like right up the road from me now. And I've heard that it's a pretty good market. It's a tailgate market, so I can just park the car and like pull everything out of the car instead of having to like unload everything and drive away and like go get the car and bring it back. And it's in a church parking lot.
Okay.
But I've heard good things, and a lot of my friends, several of my friends who used to vend at Mars Hill and don't vend at Mars Hill anymore, are vending at the East Asheville Market on Fridays. So
is that like an afternoon market? Because
because we were just talking about. Yeah, Friday is a work day. It's an afternoon market. I think it starts at like 1 or 2, something like that. I see you at the door. I'm packing up. Who is pushing my door open? Okay. He's over here creeping my door open, so I know that he is just standing there hovering. But so I applied to that market, so I'm waiting to hear back from that market. And then I'm also looking into some festivals, but a lot of the festivals that I'm looking into are like months from now, and they haven't put in their application, or they're fairly soon, but the application's already closed. So I made note in my little Google Keep file that such and such market I need to apply for in friggin' September instead of January.
You need to also set a reminder on your phone.
Yeah. I do need to do that.
Because Google Keep is not going to send you reminders. So you need to set a reminder on your phone.
True. But so I applied to my markets. So send good vibes that I get into all the markets I need to. And I am waiting for business cards to come in because I was wearing face paint yesterday. And people were like, oh, I like your makeup. And I'm like, yes, I'm a face painter for things. And they're like, oh, I've got my 11-year-old's birthday party coming up. Do you have a business card? And I'm like, no, but I can write down my email. And I have to frantically write down my email and my business number. So sending good vibes, that's all.
Well, thank you to everyone who has joined us for the Coffee Klatsch. If you are watching this after the fact, go ahead and hit that like button. Like rainbows, like. Hit also, that like button.
Subscribe. I
don't know if subscribe gives you a rainbow, but like
it does.
It does? Okay.
Yes.
So like and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you so choose. We are live every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
So you have two options. You can hit the notification bell, or you can not hit the notification bell. Those are your two options. But as long as you choose, make sure that your option is to hit the notification bell. You have two choices as long as you choose this one.
Exactly. But thank you for hanging with us. We'll see you next week. What should they leave in our comment section in the bottom if they're watching this after the fact?
Leave a snake emoji for the snake that I've been busting my butt working on. It's so long.
Yes, leave a snake in the comments. Bye again, Ronald. It's so nice of you to come hang with us.
Bye, Ronald. The snake says goodbye.
See you next week, folks.
Goodbye.